The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
20.
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Friday, Feel Good Friday, October 3rd. This is the Pat McAfee Show. I am AJ Hawk, sitting in for Pat at his desk. He's in Tuscaloosa this weekend, boys. Football! It's a beautiful thing. Last night we saw Kirk and Al call a beautiful game. The Niners find a way to win 26-23. We thought there might be another tie ball game, I should say. This was an overtime, obviously, but we thought we might get two tie ball games within the span of 4 or 5 days. That would have been wild. NFL is rolling, baseball is rolling. Yankees are moving on to the next round, Mr. Ty Schmidt. And Pat is down in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Pat, where are you? And this thing looks amazing, man. What's going on?
I'm in T-Town, AJ, and obviously Sean McVay didn't want to have another tie either. He said, I'm going to go ahead and go for this thing. We ain't tying this up with 3 minutes and something left in this particular ball game. That'd be bad for the league. That'd be bad for the NFC West. That'd be bad for the game in general, and I respect him making that decision, but he certainly blamed himself. There was a lot of other things that could certainly be to blame for the San Francisco 49ers getting a massive win last night, including Mac Jones is an absolute monster in the Kyle Shanahan system. Mac Jones has an opportunity here to have the second career that all these other quarterbacks have been having. Obviously, we look at Baker Mayfield and we say, wow, look what Baker's done. He's become the guy in Tampa. They said he's the franchise. They've paid him as such. They've treated him as such. He's gone on to do his thing. Danny Dimes in Indianapolis. This guy might win the MVP. Sam Darnold first in Minnesota, then out there in Seattle. And now we're with Jared Goff whenever he goes up there to Detroit. Now we're witnessing Mac Jones in his greatest form. Mac Jones, we remember him from his rookie campaign where he was so damn good for New England. He was gritty and at the Pro Bowl. He was laughing. He was kicking people in the balls. It was fun. It was fun. This guy out of Alabama had one of the most prolific college football seasons in the history of college football with Sark as his offensive coordinator, and everybody thought he was going number 3 to San Francisco until draft day, whenever we were told by a source says, I said that wrong with A before there, but we were told by somebody, hey, it ain't Mac Jones. Mac Jones ain't going number 3. So we go on our little internet show that obviously before ESPN didn't exist in a lot of people's minds that wear suits, and we say, hey, our source says are telling us that Mac Jones ain't going 3. At that exact moment, the draft odds for him to go number 3, and then everybody else kind of just went absolute haywire. Then we sat around and waited to see if our source says we're right if we're doing actual journalism, and it turned out Trey Lance goes number 3 and Mac Jones falls, and he didn't look as cool as he looked last night, certainly, but on draft night he certainly looked the part for New England. And what happened up there was a little bit of success. Then a defensive coordinator and a special teams coach become his offense coordinator and his quarterback coach. It ends up failing miserably. He ends up leaving there, bouncing down to Jacksonville. Then now he's getting an opportunity with the guy who potentially wanted him in the first place, but then got talked out of it with so much upside of Trey Lance. And with the massive amount of success that he's having right now, you have to wonder if Shanahan sits down at night with that cool flat bill, which I assume he sleeps with on, and he says to himself, I knew it. This guy is the right one for me. And it does feel like in this system, he is perfect, AJ. I mean, they had injuries galore. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey is one of the most dynamic players. Demarcus Robinson last night. Bourne last night. I mean, you name it. You go through Tongus, whatever the hell his name is, in for Kittle. He's going crazy. And then obviously the Juice is out there doing his thing. But watching Mac Jones in this offense, with what he has learned, what he has, what he's capable of doing, it's just like a perfect marriage. And I don't know how many times Shanahan has wondered what if from the very beginning. But maybe after those stops, Mac needed that to get to this point. So maybe it's not a fair judgment of this Mac versus rookie Mac. But damn, this Mac looks really good for this Niners team. And they get a huge win. And obviously cover 8.5-point spread, which Shanahan was pissed off about. Allegedly, Shanahan went up to Mac Jones at 4 and said, I can't believe they made the spread from 3 to 8.5. They're disrespecting us. And Mac goes, I don't even know what that means, but I agree. And they go out there and do it, AJ. I like the cut of the jib of this Niners team, and I like it more this particular year whenever Mac Jones is in there playing, as opposed to banged-up Brock Purdy, who's also worth $200 million, AJ. It's an interesting dynamic out there, but huge win for the Niners on a Thursday.
Yeah, gigantic win. I'll tell you what, Kendrick Bourne is not too upset either that Mac Jones is in there. He goes for 10 receptions, 142 yards, playing well. Damn. I know he's had some drop issues, so he wanted to get back on track, and he did last night. But, yeah, how Mac spreads the ball around, I think how quickly he gets rid of the ball is impressive to me. When was it? When he dropped back at one point, he couldn't even follow through, and he gets rid of this thing early, and he has this high follow through. Like he's feeling it, man. Like you could tell he was in the zone in between plays. If you watch him, he's sitting here listening to the next play coming in instantly and just head down, giving 11 personnel, whatever we're doing. He just seems to be on a mission. And I just look how quick, right there, he sees what he needs. Boom, get rid of the ball. Like he's not thinking at all. I feel like whatever the system, whatever they're doing with him there, this is where he's most comfortable so far. I guess it feels like within his NFL career.
I love it. And on the other side, with McVay, I know obviously missed extra point, blocked extra point is a big topic of conversation. I do think it is worthy of a conversation going forward with Cardi, who I think is an immense talent. Obviously, this block happens last night. It ends up going to overtime. They end up losing. Everybody's going to examine every single point, especially whenever it's extra point. You should just get that. Feels like he was pulling that a little bit, right? I mean, that hit the outside arm. Maybe it sneaks into the left side of the upright, but that felt like a little bit like a pull. And then you go back to Philadelphia on his block kick, his second block kick of that particular game. This one was going to be pulled too, I think. I think almost like Jordan Davis blocking that, then scooping it and scoring it, potentially camouflages. That ball looks like it's potentially going left. Now, granted, does it come back? I'm not 100% sure. I'm really worried about Cardi. I think Cardi's an incredible talent. But I think them having him hit that squib that he hits, and obviously that thing dies early last night, which is the roll of the dice with a squib, especially, this happening in overtime, not great news to have a 40-yard start, 40-yard line start. But with the squib, that is the thing. You can't control the distance as well. That thing might nosedive early, and if it does that, obviously it's treated like it's a kick out of bounds. You had to put that thing on a 40. They're 2 first downs in this modern NFL away from a field goal. And Tyro hits a fucking 59-yarder. I don't know if any of us knew that he could do that and then banks one in. It's like Cardi hitting those fat balls, those knuckle balls on kickoffs, has been very good for the Rams. Has gotten a lot of attention, has gotten a lot of positive hype for this new kickoff, which I appreciate and agree. Squib's been around a long time. This is certainly a good time to have a great squib. Cardi certainly does that. He has been a menace on these things for people, but I don't like the kicker hitting fat balls all the time. I don't like kickers.
You've been talking about this for a while, Pat. For weeks, you've been talking about this, like how it can possibly affect kickers. But I guess what else can you do? Like, hopefully your punter can hit these squibs. A kicker's never going to tell the coach, "Hey, I can't do this." But you're right. Like we're seeing it in real time. We're seeing it affect everything. Like it seems to be something we didn't think about.
Yeah, maybe this is a part of it. It's still early in this thing, but he seemingly is hitting fat balls, right? And fat balls go left. If you hit one thin, it goes right. You hit one fat, which is a little bit towards the middle,
probably
it's going to pull left.
Like golf, right?
Well, because it's on your foot longer. So it's on your foot longer. So whichever, you pull it, slingshot it. Whenever you hit it thin, it's on there shorter amount of time, so it's going to push. You're trying to have it that perfect sweet spot, so it just goes in a perfect trajectory. So I think him hitting a fat ball every single time he hits a kickoff isn't necessarily, for me, mentally the greatest thing, but he's a talent. He's a weapon, so he's going to keep doing it. I think every punter should learn how to hit a squib. Every punter should be learning how to hit a squib, because the leg swing on a squib, which is a kick off the ground, obviously, so field goal kicker operation, punter ball out of the air, field goal kicker ball off the ground. Not every punter can kick. Not every kicker can punt, but every punter doesn't have to worry about hitting a pure ball for a field goal. So if they just want to hit a fat ball and have bad technique and just send that thing into a squib, it's like, I think punters should get into that. I think, especially Ethan Evans out there in LA, he's squatting like 800 pounds. I couldn't even imagine the knuckle he could put on a ball if he was to hit it as hard as he possibly could. So I think that'll be the evolution. But I thought it was a great game last night, genuinely. Let's go to the toxic table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. And Ty, congratulations to your Yankees. We'll certainly talk about that here in just a few moments. But Con Man, Mac Jones, McCorkle Jones.
Whoa.
You got his jersey, okay, year one.
All three of them. All three colors.
Okay, I apologize.
They're at Goodwill now if you want them.
Okay, you can get those for $7.99. Three
at the most.
Three for $10. One for $7.99. You could. You lost faith in the Mac Jones experience up there in New England. I think everybody kind of did. But at the beginning, there was a lot of promise for literally everything he's doing with the Niners right now. Right? Isn't that kind of the thought of what Mac Jones could be and the hope of what Mac Jones could be? He is right now, it feels like.
Yeah, 1,000%. Like when it comes to quarterback development, it feels like that's kind of a hot topic right now. Mac is kind of the epitome of the opposite of what you're supposed to do. You mentioned you bring in a DC and special teams guy to call plays for a dude who, his rookie year was with McDaniels and the year before that was at Alabama setting records. I don't know if that exactly makes sense for Bill Belichick, but hey, he won 6 Super Bowls. It's awesome. Like Kendrick Bourne doing what he was doing was incredible. I think Mac Jones, I don't know. Is he going to be the starter? Is he not? I think the only team that would probably take Purdy's contract is like the Cleveland Browns because they don't know what the hell they're doing. And, maybe Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders, one of those two, have a great season. History would tell us the Cleveland Browns have no idea how to pick a quarterback. But that guy right there is the real star of this team, McCaffrey. Everything goes through him. They're not running the ball that well, but he's still getting involved in the pass game. It's just one of those things where does it even really matter who's at quarterback for the Niners because of Shanahan? Obviously it does, but I'm excited to see what happens. This is an early storyline with 2 quarterbacks, and this is kind of one of those things where, hey, are the Niners going to make the right decision? Is Shanahan going to make the decision? Like, who is going to be the one that pulls the trigger? Because even Mac Jones after, and I don't know if we have his press conference because he has a really, really cool suit on that everybody should see. He looks like Harley Quinn, respectfully.
We saw it. We showed him walking in.
Awesome. But, here's his presser talking about Purdy.
Before the game, there was a report that Brock could be out a few more games. Do you feel like the starting job, you're the starter now, and that's just the way you have to view it?
I think, they brought me here to play as a backup, and that's my job, and Brock's the starter of this team, and right now he's dealing with something, and for him to go out there last week and play when he probably wasn't at full health, like he cares about this team, so I'm just trying to get some wins for him so it helps us down the line, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Like, I've been in his position, I've been a starter, and you want your backup to go in there and win because at the end of the season, that could be the hit or miss between a playoff or not. So,
saying all the right things,
Love the mindset.
Yeah. Saying the right things, right, Pat?
Love the mindset there. I appreciate him looking out for Brock, too. That answer is looking out for Brock. Right? Don't you think, Con Man?
You got to sit next to that guy every day in the
exactly.
QB room, right?
Yeah, like they're still on the same team. It sucks. And, you listen to like Sam Darnold, and he said Brock Purdy is huge for his development. So I don't think it's just one of those things where like Purdy is completely shoved to the side. But if he played and then re-aggravated his injury, like why don't they wait at least, get him 100% healthy, and then maybe see what happens? But Mac's not healthy either. I mean, he was banged up on the sidelines too. So, who knows?
He was struggling. He was struggling through. He looked like he was a little bit of a zombie there walking at the end. They won that game, and it was from Mac is what you saw. And then somebody was like, hey, we're happy. Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see what the injury report says coming out of last night's game. And he's got a lot of structure on that left knee there. Mm-hmm. Him popping up and jogging off, obviously good for the boys here. But the Shanahan team last night, incredibly tough. Let's go to one half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys, AP Tone. What was the money? What did the money end up being last night? And I know me and AJ were both right. AJ?
Yes, sir.
I know AJ
absolutely.
Were both right.
You two
undefeated, AJ.
1-0.
You two were in the minority. It closed 58% on the Rams. So chalk up another one for the sports books. I think it's like 10 and 25 now that the public has gone when it's 58 to 60% or more. Just another one for the sports books last night, Pat. And a lot of people were on the under, and people got screwed on that one because it went to overtime and went over and overtime. So all around good night for the sportsbook.
It never stops for them. I didn't even get a chance to chit chat about where I am right here. Okay, I'm in the brand new entrance tunnel here. So if you were to zoom out a little bit on this thing, I think I'm on it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That leads to the field.
They just debuted this 2 weeks ago, and they just redid it. Yes, it leads right to the field, obviously locker room right here. They had another one. I guess they had all the titles across the bottom. They moved it to the top, obviously. There's a company that comes in here and has redone a lot of things, I think, in a lot of these buildings. The light show that they have just for the letters here and then across the top. And then there is just I assume there's going to be speakers. It is.
Smoke, I bet,
this is a part. Yeah, AJ, this is a part of the show. I think Ohio State has the old. I don't think they've changed anything, right? Have they?
They've updated. It used to just be like a concrete tunnel with a little awning over it. Now it's a big permanent awning. They got lights. They got smoke. It's not like that exactly, but it's pretty sweet.
Pat, AJ was worried about the shellacker on the concrete there with spikes. Would it feel like
put some rubber
slippery
flooring
there?
down? They got to lay some temporary rubber flooring, right? You don't want to be sliding around with your cleats. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very this is very slick. That's a good call, AJ. It is a little slick. I'll tell you what, though, I felt like a champion.
Oh, yeah.
Run it down.
Oh, felt pretty good. I felt alive right there, AJ. Did you feel it?
I did feel it.
Sweet Home
It's coming
Alabama's
to the
playing
screen.
while you're standing in the tunnel ready to come out.
Yeah, and I could hear him. Fuck! Tennessee! Whoever they're saying first. Yeah, it is Vandy coming to town. Crazy. Vandy, big game. I mean, that's awesome that's for Vandy. And we talked about this a lot this morning in the production meeting or whatever. I think they got some money, AJ.
Oh, yeah. Vandy does now?
I think Vandy has some money from what I've been gathering. But also they have a commercial. Last year they had a commercial. Hey, we can be a team. Diego, obviously awesome at New Mexico State. He changed the entire culture. Going into the transfer portal era here in the offseason, hey, we can be a team. Nashville's really easy to sell too with how awesome that city is. They got money. It's like, wait, is Vandy now? Wait a minute. Is Vandy about to be like legit going forward? It's like everybody's like, yes, they absolutely are. So that's great for college ball, AJ.
It's great for college ball. Great for the SEC. I mean, they've already had so much depth. I feel like now, like if Vandy can be a consistent contender year in and year out, yeah, that's gigantic for them. But I guess this is a huge test on a huge national stage, and we'll see what they're 10.5-point dogs. They're probably pretty upset about that.
Yeah, I would assume they feel a little jaded. And Stanford Steve said something to me and Gumpy on the way out of the meeting. Now, obviously, Vandy being good is good for the SEC as a whole. The SEC needs Texas to beat Florida, right? Don't we think?
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure,
Yes.
1,000%.
Tone, why did he say that? I agree with what he's saying, but why exactly do you think he's saying that?
I think it's because Florida's reputation right now on record is not good at all. So if Texas loses to Florida, the SEC could potentially lose a playoff team for the playoff. So, like, they need their good teams to keep beating teams that are not going to be in the playoff, if that makes sense. They can't have these lesser teams who aren't going to be in the playoff pick off the top teams and cause them to miss the playoff as well, because then, you know, the whole Big Ten versus SEC thing is only going to get louder because, you know, there's a lot of the high-quality teams, like the top-tier teams, are in the Big Ten. So, I mean, yes, the SEC is probably the deeper conference, but at the top, the SEC needs to get as many teams as they can in the playoff, I believe.
And AJ, how's the Big Ten feel? Obviously, with Indiana being all the way back, it is certainly a good. Who's doing the cuts there?
It's pretty.
That was pretty
cinematic.
Well, was that score? Where are we?
Who's getting artsy over there?
Whoa.
That's potentially my ring finger there.
Whoa.
But
Look at you.
the real wonder is, with the Big Ten, obviously Indiana. Great team, right? We're all just assuming Indiana's going to be good for the foreseeable future. Mm-hmm. The Big Ten's only getting deeper, and they got a lot of money. So to Tone's point and to, I guess, Stanford Steve's point, it's like SEC needs their big dogs to be big dogs, AJ. And I assume the Ohio State faithful are peacocking because they've been number one, have been number one, and are the reigning national champs, and just ended the 22 home game win streak for Washington last week. They got a big one against Minnesota this week. Don't let Minnesota sneak up on you, Ohio State. But it's like the Big Ten is almost the cock of the walk. walk right now, and it feels like the Big Ten knows that, AJ.
Yeah, I think they do know that, but they're also like they're cautiously optimistic because they know it doesn't truly matter until the playoffs start. Like, yeah, this is great, but this just puts us in position for when it actually matters at the end of the season. So I think that's how most, especially the top tier Big Ten teams.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now. This conversation happened literally right behind the cameras here. I hope they get it. I hope they get it figured out. I do.
What are they saying? Who the hell's changing all these cameras? We don't know who set this up.
I don't know. It's great people. These people have done an incredible job. This is by far the best setup we've had all year. And I do believe clock right on time. So, I mean, this is.
Wow.
Let's go, boys.
Well, I don't know yet. Hold on. I don't know.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood.
AJ, look at that clock above you. Is it 19, 14, 15, 16, 17?
Wow.
Spot on.
Wow.
Well
We did it.
done.
Well done.
Boom!
Can we hit this thing right here? Can we hit these,
Oh,
please?
yeah. Boom!
Thought he had it.
There it is. Boom. There it is. All right. Sorry. Thank you. Great people, obviously. Incredible spot here. Lucky to be a part of it. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who was taking a victory lap last night because of a take that he had being accurate. Now, a lot of people would say, in baseball, if you bat 300, you make it into the Hall of Fame. In sports media, if you bat .05, I think you're considered to be great. Ladies and gentlemen, the pundit of all pundits, the face of the NFL for ESPN. Ladies and gentlemen, football guru, quarterback expert, Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah,
And saw the victory lap last night.
Yeah, it was a great one. .05?
You take a lot of takes, brother. Okay, you take a lot of takes. You do a lot of takes, a lot of TV time. Yeah, okay, I'm not doing it. I don't need to hear that, okay? I saw a couple of people go after you, Steven Jackson included. I don't think you want smoke with Steven Jackson. I don't need you miming anything right now, okay? I don't need the mime thing to take place. Okay, yep, not doing it. Okay, don't it? That's not how quarterbacks operate, brother. You said it yourself. That is not how quarterbacks operate. What?
What? I said what?
This guy's connection sucks.
Jeez.
Is this real?
We'll
It's not
call
a
you back.
gimmick?
Oh,
Bye back, ladies and gentlemen. That's Dan Orlovsky.
Thanks, Dan.
So he was not paramiming. That was actually
Oh my God!
connection.
I thought he was. That would have been two.
I thought he was too. Yeah.
We
I
gave
still
him way
think
too
he
much
was.
credit.
You gave him way too much credit. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
I thought we worked ourselves into a shoot there.
Brother.
No, because his face glitched. Unless it was my TV.
No, you were correct.
No,
It did.
he was glitching.
Ladies and gentlemen,
He wants back.
There he is.
All right, this is what happened. Okay, I did not hear you because my wife went for a run. She said, "Can you pick me up at the beach?" Which is where she runs to, from the house to the beach.
That's nice.
Bluetooth.
Because we're dumb, we share like a Apple iCloud thingamajiggy. So she just showed up and her earbuds picked up my phone. So you're talking, I can't hear you, and that's when you saw me go like this. I was like, "Yo, you got to turn these off because I can't hear."
Oh, so now we're ruining her workout because you guys only have one fucking apple. Okay, all right. Just know it's very easy to get more. We thought you were potentially miming there. We thought you were doing the mime thing because of everything that just took place with Shador there. That's what we thought maybe you were doing. That is not. That would have been. Yeah, that would have been. You won an Emmy already. That might have, in itself, might have gave you an Emmy there. But let's talk about you dancing on the Mac Jones victory parade. Okay, you put the Dan wagon on Mac, going to the Shanahan offense, and he would look just like Brock Purdy looks right now, was your exact words. And we all laughed in your face because we had seen Mac Jones up there at New England with Matt Patricia, a defense coordinator, as his offense coordinator, and Joe Judge, a special teams coordinator, as his quarterback coach. And we've seen the antics of him kicking people in the balls and the way he operated, and we all thought to ourselves, this guy stinks. And in his face, I think to him, not to us, obviously we never do that, but I think there is something about the way he looks that some people go, wow, I won't punch him in the face right there. Some people view that way. I don't think it's fair, but I think Mac Jones has probably heard that before. So it was all natural to bury Mac whenever he ended bad in New England, I think, for a lot of people. Then he goes down to Jacksonville, not a lot of fanfare, not a lot of conversation. He goes over to Shanahan and gets this opportunity. He has been fantastic. Do we think that rookie Mac Jones would have been able to handle a Shanahan-like offense? Like, if he was the number 3 overall pick, do we think Mac Jones is being talked about as one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL right now? Or do you think he needed everything he went through and got here at the perfect time for this type of situation, Dano, on your victory lap?
Yeah, I truly believe if he went to San Francisco at 3 that year, he would be one of the top, 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. I had felt that. I would say this, though. I think on the field, he would have been able to handle Shanahan's offense. I do think the maturity has absolutely kind of grown. I just was watching you guys play his post-game comments, and we've seen Mac have some bad body language and probably comport himself in ways that he wasn't great when he was younger. So I think that and kind of like the maturity throughout the league or his years has developed. I'll say this off the game last night. That's the best game I've ever seen him play in the NFL. I was blown away how good he was. Like, you're throwing all these clips. Dude, the timing of these throws is nuts. And the crazy thing is, they're not like 6-yard completions. They're all like 16, 18, 24-yard completions that are big-time throws, and they're coming right out of his hands. But so many times the ball left his hands before the receivers were like dropping their hips and getting into their cuts. And so it was a phenomenal game. It's the best game I've ever seen Mac play. And what a freaking win. Like, what a freaking win by the 49ers, man.
Here's a Hembo stat for you to go along with the point you just made right there. San Francisco's pass game accounted for 82% of its yardage last night. They had been 3-13 under Shanahan when that number was 80+. And then Jones to Bourne this season, second time around for those two, right, Con Man?
Yeah, that was his number 1 when he was in New England, big time.
Okay, so he understands his timing, even though Demarcus Robinson got into the game last night and started making some plays. Ex-Ram, obviously getting a big-time win. Jones to Bourne this season, 17 of 20, 85% of his completion rate, 212 pass yards and 10.6 yards per attempt, so they're down the field to your point. 12 first downs, and he has a 95.5 QBR. That is out of 100 scale. So whenever you talk about to Bourne, obviously he has some familiarity with, but everybody else he doesn't. I mean, Demarcus Robinson, I forgot he was on the Niners until Kirk Herbstreit brought his name up yesterday. I actually wrote it down. I'm like, oh, yeah, Demarcus Robinson's on that team. Sprinkled a little bit on anytime TD on Demarcus Robinson. He was out of bounds. Mac needs to throw that ball better. Okay. Mac needs to throw that ball. We're talking about him being great. Yeah, well, my anytime touchdown does not think that is with Demarcus. But on that note, he doesn't know these guys that much, and he's not getting a lot of 1 reps out there, right? Isn't that something else to be added into all of this, Dano?
Yeah, I think he's got more reps than most backups, obviously, because he's had to play for almost a month now, right? And so I think that's a part of this. I do believe that last night is this kind of walking example of some of the things we often lose sight of when it comes to quarterback play. Obviously, coaching's a massive part of quarterback performance. Like, we can definitively say quarterbacks can only play as good as their play caller. Like, they go hand in hand. We saw that last night. And then watching that game, I felt like, rewatching it this morning, it felt like I was rewatching the Dak versus Green Bay game. Because, like, during it, I'm like, how is the Rams defensive line not getting home? How are they not getting to Mac and sacking him more? And, dude, there are so many throws that he cuts the ball. Like, they actually win at the defensive line, and he cuts it loose right before he gets hit, and that was exactly what Dak did against Micah and that Green Bay defensive line. And so I think that is another example of, like, dude, how important playing on time is right now at that position. It minimizes so many things. And then I would shout out their offensive line. Like, again, I'm just talking about how fast or how much playing on time helped him. Their offense, that throw's ridiculous, dude. Their offensive line was very impressive last night because that Rams defensive front is big time. But man, it's the example of this quarterback development, quarterback performance. Who would you rather have? Where you go matters. Like, it's another example of that we have in the NFL of, like, dude, it all matters on the player or for the player how well he can perform.
Congrats to you and congrats to Mac. And I asked this question like 3-4 weeks ago. Like, Kyle Shanahan's first love in this entire thing was Mac. If your first love shows up and cooking great, takes care of just everything that you could potentially want, it just walks into your life. It's hard, I assume, for him not to be like, I knew it. I fucking knew it. And then all of a sudden you start thinking, well, what all is possible, And that's going to be a natural conversation that's going to happen with media pundits. I appreciate Mac putting that to sleep, saying, hey, this is Brock Purdy's team. He's getting $200 million, not me. But that is certainly going to be a growing convo if Mac continues to ball like this, at least for trade bait discussions or maybe in the offseason next year. So I love that. And good for you getting a chance to dance on a right take for once. That very rarely happens for you.
Dan.
We're pumped. Dan, that's very rare.
Boy, Dan.
Hey,
Baby, Dan. Good work, Dano. Take your
That's
flyers,
it,
Dano. Come on, Dano. Woo! Here we go.
Oh, nice.
Wow, good whistle.
Good whistle.
Yeah.
I got
Dogs.
a great whistle.
Peter's about to run in here. AJ has a question for you, brother.
Dano, what's your opinion on McVay going for it, 4th and 1 in field goal range, going for the win? Also, what is your opinion on the play call? In my opinion, people want to kill the play call. If it works, it works. If you got to run some trickery and it doesn't work, people are going to say, hey, why don't you just run up the middle? You can get 1 yard. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, bad play call, and I love Sean McVay, and I don't need to tell everybody he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. He's one of the most creative coaches in the NFL. Absolutely love going for it. The quarterback, I don't know how you lose that game playing quarterback the way Stafford did. Let me talk about this stop in overtime, okay? I think the Rams were in 3rd or 4th in, I believe 2 or less. It's 6 times. They ran that play right there 4 out of the 6 times, or 4 out of the 5 times. They ran the same play, AJ, on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, 4 or 5 times previous of that game. The same exact play, same exact formation. So, in that situation, 5 times throughout that game, they got into that 3-man surface, 4-man surface where they had the receiver just off the hip of the tight end and then another receiver outside, and they ran duo. They did it all throughout the game. Now, they convert, I think, on all of them, but the pass to Devontae is the one I'm not counting. On 3rd and 1, they threw a ball to Devontae. He doesn't see it the same way. So, here's my point. They had this same situation, short yardage, I think 5 times in the game. They ran that same play out of the same formation all times but one. And you see San Francisco, that safety, and I don't want to pronounce his name wrong, but I think it's 36. Siegel or something. Dude, every single time he's downhill on it. Every single time he's downhill on it. And it's dude, I was shocked. I'm shocked that Sean McVay, one of the most creative and great coaches in the NFL, I'm not shocked that he went for it. I'm shocked that he went to the same play that he had gone to so much in that game. That's the thing that I think he's going to sit back and be like, man, I can't believe I did that in that moment. Because usually he's a step ahead of the defense, and you can tell the defense knew what the play was going to be more than likely because of what had happened in that game.
Gotta have it. That's literally the most important play. Gotta have it. So he said, I blew that game. That's 100% on me. He took accountability. We assume he will go back to the what was the name of that movie? Beautiful Mind. Beautiful Mind. Yeah, yeah. Beautiful Mind. When he's at that, when he's got that window, he's just drawing up a bunch of shit. I assume Sean McVay is going to do that because what you're saying is obviously echoed by a lot of people that know play calling and ball and everything. But he knows that too. That was his answer. Basically, was I let the team do. I appreciate though. And Salah, good to see him back, bro. We haven't seen that in a long time. We haven't seen that in a long time right there. That right there. And Lynch, hey, boys, we got nobody on our team. Just beat the Rams. It is obviously a good moment for them. But I appreciate Sean McVay for the good of ball going for that. For the good of ball. Hey, we just had a tie. Packers, Cowboys. What everybody said we hated it, right? Maybe that's the answer. Team can't go for tie. If it's after maybe
I like that.
Maybe that's the answer that we need, and maybe Sean McVay is if nobody wants to make a rule change, I'll start it, and then maybe on a head coach group text they'll continue that. So I appreciate him doing that for the good of ball. But we were all surprised that we're not dependent on this one here. Whenever the biggest, most important play of all time, let's get this guy the ball. Maybe
I would also say, Pat, their short yardage, red zone bootleg game or play action pass game is as good as anybody's in the NFL. So, if there was ever a time, Stafford was ridiculous last night. I mean, some of the throws he makes are just absolutely out of his mind. And so, I think if you're the Rams, you got to sit back and sitting at 3-2, and you got to be going, dang, dude, we're 3-2, and really because of I guess I would say it's like sloppy football. They wasted this game, a division game. Their quarterback, I don't think you can play much better and throw it much better than Stafford did. He probably had like 3 misses that are misses, but you lose to the Eagles in many ways because of a sloppy second half and sloppy field goal operation. Then last night, you lose because of a fumble on a toss. You get the same friggin' kick block at the same position. The blocked extra point last night is off the same block that the Eagles did. It comes in the same location, man. So, like, the same block. You missed the extra point. The fumble on the goal line. Dude, it's just...
The same fourth down plays. The same, it's like the same. It's all like the same. Yeah, you're saying
it's
it's abnormal.
to think... Yeah, and it's like this is one of the most well-run organizations in football. Like, I would say one of the most adult-run, like, buttoned-up organizations in football. And I think they got to sit back at 3-2, like, we've lost 2 games really because of like our own destruction.
What a play right here, dude. This is unbelievable, though. I mean, and let's, the Rams saying they should have won, obviously, 2 block kicks against the Eagles, blocked extra point last night. This type of play right here is just devastating to a team, to a Rams team. I experienced this a couple times with the Colts. It didn't get punched out by the other team. They decided to punch it out themselves. 2 times, Jonathan Taylor last year against the Broncos and then AD against the Rams. Devastating, just because it's so hard to get there. So hard in the NFL to get there. It is so hard to get. Like the Patriots a couple weeks back against the Steelers. We had a pick in the end zone. We had a fumble in the end zone. It's like that is devastating to your team. For how hard it and how long it takes to get to there to potentially score a touchdown, to have it just boom. It's like you just held on the ball for a long time and nothing. That's kicking the dick. Rams figured it out. Hey, Rams figured it out. Good for the Niners. Good for the Niners. Speaking of figuring things out there in Baltimore, they're going to have to figure out what's going on with Lamar. Talks Table has a question for you. I believe it is Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, Dan, obviously it's a little early in the season to talk about must-wins and stuff like that, but at this point, through almost the quarter mark, I think you kind of know who you are and you start to see the playoff picture. Now we're hearing Lamar didn't practice again today. There's a chance that, or it's probably a likelihood that he's not going to play Sunday. Are we in like must-win territory for the Ravens here? I mean, if they lose another one and slip to 1-4 and Lamar is more banged up than we thought, like what should we be thinking about the Ravens this weekend?
Yeah, no, I this is a must-win for Baltimore for me. So they play Houston this weekend, and this is my thought on it. You play Houston this weekend, and if you find a way to win this game, and I think they can beat Houston without Lamar, I'll get into like the how. Then they play the Rams next weekend, right? And then the bye. So if you can find a way to win this weekend, and Lamar is somewhat trending towards being better next week, but probably not where you want them, then you can realistically sit there and say, okay, we got the win. We're at 2-3. We would love for Lamar to play, but we really want 2 weeks of more health and break on that hammy. Let's try to win another without him, because at worst case, if you win this week, you get to 2-4 because of the way that things are shaking up in their division, and I think as the AFC as a whole, I still don't think at 2-4 they're out of it, especially if they're able to take that 3-week break with Lamar, get him healthy. Obviously, they've got problems on their football team as far as the execution and I think some philosophical things. But I think this is a must-win. Now, how do they do it versus Houston?
Well, I just think like Chuck Pagano.
Nah, I got no problems with Chuck. No problems. Okay. Well, yeah. So I would say this: there's no team in the NFL that has given the ball to their running backs less on first and second down than the Baltimore Ravens. So on first and second down, the running back that's got the least amount of carries in the NFL is Derrick Henry. That for me doesn't make it.
Dan, why is that happening? Why aren't they giving him the ball first and second down?
Yeah, AJ, I don't know. I don't know. And Todd Monken's a phenomenal. I mean, they have a historically great offense last year. So is it because they think the defense is struggling, and so you're trying to just score points as much as possible? First down's the easiest down in the NFL to throw the ball. So are they being aggressive throwing the ball on early downs? So I believe in that philosophy, but having the least amount of carries on first and second down, I'm not saying we have to have the most, but we have Derrick Henry. I think last week against the Chiefs, I think he had 5 carries on first and second down. So that's the philosophy thing. So how do they beat Houston? I think they got to, obviously, 25-plus carries for Derrick Henry got a big deal. Got to be a big deal. They got to be really good with the play action, even if Lamar's not in there. And so I think they can beat Houston, but I do believe it's a must-win. But they got to like, remember who they are. Like, remember who you are offensively.
A lot of people out, bro. Put this up. Jamison Henley, I believe he reports for the Ravens, put up that there's 7 guys out, and they're all names that we know. You know, these are all dudes we know.
Injury, man.
Yes, so is all of them. I mean, all of those are huge names, let alone the D tackle Matabike, who is out for the season. I mean, it's not good over there, but I believe in the Ravens culture after watching them on Hard Knocks, but maybe their philosophies need to change, and also maybe they're not giving him the ball because he fumbled fourth quarter 2 games in a row. A lot of people on the internet are saying maybe he's getting punished for that. It's like, well, what got you to the fourth quarter? This guy rushed for 185 yards before this. Like maybe we do that again. Speaking of teams that win games and not everybody's happy, Tone has a question about some Johns down there in the city of brotherly love.
Yeah, I do, Dano. There's 2 4-0 teams in the NFL, and one of them is the Philadelphia Eagles, and they are 29th in the league in yards per rush and 31st in the league in yards passing per game, and I think 138 yards a game. But they're still 4-0. But there's the stuff with AJ Brown. What do you and they got to get Saquon go. What do you think about the Philadelphia Eagles offense so far this season? What's different than last year?
Yeah, not the Pennsylvania team I thought you were going to ask me about, so I'm a little bit disappointed not getting in a fight over it. But
no, we don't need. We don't need. You came out and you said, hey, they went 6 offensive linemen. They had Darnell Washington doing it right. We're good, Dan. We're on good terms.
All right, sweet.
Hold on, Dan. I don't want to get into the whole victory lap thing. Dan's taking a big time victory lap about Mac Jones, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Isn't he out there, Gumps? He's just out there doing his thing. Look at it. He just bought this shirt from a tent outside of the stadium.
Gumps!
Yeah.
Look at that camera, Gumps!
It was awesome. We were eating at Ramajama with Josh Chapman, and then there's tents outside in between Ramajama and the stadium. And Gumpy just goes out there, and all of a sudden he comes back like it's a merch store. There's a Daytona 500 Dale Earnhardt merch shop outside of Ramajama near the stadium. It is beautiful. He's taking a victory lap with that thing, isn't he, with the old Mac Jones?
Yeah, I was wondering about his Justin Fields MVP take.
Or what about your Steelers going 0-6? You want to talk about the other Pittsburgh team. You called them going 0-6. That just got brought up a couple days ago. So the Mac Jones thing, pretty good, because all of Pittsburgh was taking all of the steel that we've created for the entire world and just blasting you right in the shin and balls with that 0-6 thing. Now, you don't have to respond. Okay, you'll say, it was before they had
I want to respond.
What's that?
Why can't I respond? I said that comment
because it's all bullshit.
Oh, Dan.
Everything you're saying is
Dan,
bullshit right now.
You did say it before Aaron was on the team, but don't pretend after Aaron was signed that you were like, oh, this is you said.
I literally did a preseason show that July 26th and picked the 7 AFC playoff teams and picked the Steelers in the playoffs.
You smell that?
You only did that in case.
I smell it.
Oh yeah, I smell it.
You smell it?
Yeah, it reeks right now.
I'm in Alabama. I don't know if you guys can smell it. What state are you in, Dan? What state's that?
I'm in Connecticut, and I was right on the Steelers.
Isn't that crazy that from Connecticut to Indiana with the boys in the Thunderdome, you guys can smell it, right? AJ?
Oh, yeah.
You can smell it.
A little bit.
And I'm down here in Alabama. Bullshit. All of it. Just absolutely everything.
No,
just
there's none of it.
Absolute shite coming.
100%
Manure coming through the TV down here. Brand new tunnel, Dan. They just opened this thing 2 weeks ago. And there's bullshit radiating through the whole thing.
Steelers fans have been killing me. Jersey Jerry DM'd me last night and goes, are you going to own up to your 0-6 Steelers or your Steelers take? I said, which one?
Good question, Jersey Jerry. That's a good question.
And he said 0-6, and I go, I said that when Aaron wasn't on the team. Once he got on the team, I picked him to make the playoffs. He goes, I did not know that. My bad.
No, Jersey, don't back off, Jersey Jerry. No, that is okay. I hope he gets a microphone and he doesn't back off. But let's go. Sorry, Tone. Go ahead, Tone. I'm sorry, Tone. It's Phil. Let's talk about the other side of the state. Obviously, Pennsylvania's a football state. Need to be Oregon, but Pennsylvania is a football state. Go ahead,
I was gonna B-rabbit Dan real quick and say, yeah, they've been outgained by 200 yards in 2 of their wins or whatever. And, the offensive line hasn't looked great and the run defense hasn't looked great. But, they're still 3-1. So that's okay, Dan. And we're just going to move on to the Eagles question, okay?
All right. Yeah. So this is my thoughts on Philadelphia. I I think right now running the football is a struggle for them in between the tackles. I think they miss Mekhi Becton. If their offense doesn't improve, it will get them beat. No team in the NFL has more negative runs than the Philadelphia Eagles.
Sheesh.
Coming off of a historic run season. No team has more negative runs than Eagles. They lead the NFL. And most of it is in between the tackles. I think like last year, Hembo sent me numbers. In between the tackles, I think Saquon averaged like 5.5 yards per carry. This year's like 1.5 yards per carry. So then the connective part of that is, well, the pass game. I would tell you this. I think A.J. Brown is being asked to do, I would call them like high school routes type of stuff. He basically just is running in straight lines.
Oh, no.
Like, and there's a beauty to that. No, there's a beauty to that. Like, AJ's such a physically dominant player. It's like, hey, run a go route, run a stop route. I just think that they can ask him to run more routes than that. And so I think his route tree is a little minimized. And then I'd say this. I think Jalen's become a very risk-averse quarterback. And so, 3 years ago when AJ was like one-on-one, I think Jalen would give him a lot of opportunities to catch the ball. And I don't think that Jalen is doing that right now down the field. I think, when AJ's down the field one-on-one, Jalen's very much so protecting that throw and not putting the ball even remotely close into harm's way. So I do think it can improve, but it's going to have to get better or it'll get them beat.
Dano, Carson Wentz, quick pivot here. Carson Wentz playing in London has about half the roster out. It feels like they are hurt. What do you think they can do? Can they find a way to get a win over this Browns team?
Dude, their defense in Minnesota is going to have – I think that, like, this game feels like 13-10. Minnesota's offensive line, specifically the left guard and the center, are really struggling big time. And you're going against one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. And so this is a huge challenge for Minnesota offensively to try to, I think, generate some positive yardage, try to get points on the board any means necessary. You do not want to give the football away because you want to ride your defense in this game. And so, what quarterback, what offense values the ball the most? I think this is just a low scoring, ugly football game because Minnesota's offensive line is so beat up, and obviously playing against that defense in Minnesota with the rookie quarterback in Cleveland and an offense that's really devoid of talent. So I think whatever offense
Jerry Judy's on that. Yeah, you need to watch your mouth then. Jerry Judy's our favorite football player. Okay?
Yeah, Jerry Judy's a good player.
He's a great player. The total for
go ahead.
I was going to say the total for this game is 35.5, by the way, which I believe is the lowest of the season.
I'm taking over.
Okay, me too. On that note, I would like to, obviously I wanted to get into your thoughts on Dylan Gabriel and how he's going to do and what your expectations are for him. But I also would like to follow up with, you think the Carson Wentz experience against this Cleveland Browns defense
not great
isn't gonna generate at least 14 points for the Browns?
For somebody.
Somebody.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little, again, I'm a little bit concerned against this defense. Carson does like to hold the football a little bit and be a playmaker.
Yeah, be a playmaker. Yep, that's it. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Yep. Is this the one where he throws it? Yep.
Yeah.
One.
Great play.
Okay. So we are fans of this. We think it's electrifying for football. We've actually pitched that he should be this one.
Yeah,
two people flip. They fumble. That ball's out. Ball's out. So I've pitched the last week. Carson Wentz needs to be a starter on a football team that is debuting in a new country.
That interception's not his fault, guys. Like,
of course. It's just a part of the whole thing. It's part of the whole thing.
It's part of the experience.
Yeah,
there's good plays in there too.
Boom! Look at that. That's unbelievable. There's the first play. You didn't comment on it because you didn't know what we were doing. Run, no look, sidearm to Justin Jefferson. Great play. Then he got some of these.
This is the best.
So he needs to be a starter on a team that is playing in a new country. Whoever goes to Australia should be required to have Carson Wentz as one of the team's starters because it's the most electrifying style of football. Every play could be a touchdown.
Yes.
Bingo. Yes, exactly. That is 100% right. So this Cleveland Browns defense, I think, not only like anytime touchdown, but maybe touchdowns from this Cleveland Browns defense over there. But also on that note, Carson might throw 4 tuds. He might go for 400 yards against this Browns defense because it just makes no sense, and that's a part of the experience. Let's go with Dillon Gabriel, though. Obviously, a lot has been talked about with him being 5'11", third-round draft pick. Who knows how he's been able to actually handle and compartmentalize all the drama with the 5th-round draft pick, Shedeur Sanders, that's been there. But who cares about any of that whenever he gets on the field? What should be realistic expectations of this Dillon Gabriel? I know B-Flow's defense is good. Everybody's defense is good except for like maybe 1 or 2 teams. How should we view him as a rookie starter here, and what are your expectations?
Yeah, I think my expectations are low and realistic because of, one, that defense he's going against is fantastic. And so if he's not good on early downs, getting the ball out of his hands like right now, and they're not efficient yards after the catch, he's going to get in, and this offense will get themselves into trouble. We all know that because of this blitz package. I think the number one thing is how much they move him and how much they go play action. That's really been the problem with this offense. Is it's the fundamental starting point is the play action part of it. That's Stefanski's offense. It just hasn't been good enough this year. And so how well he operates that, and that was probably the thing that was surprising in the preseason, was how good he did in that, because he didn't do a lot of it in college. They're going to have to move him because to help try to just get him away from some of those rushers. I think the screen game's huge for them. I think the completion game, just get the ball out of his hands early and try to get some yards after the catch, is going to be a really big deal. I don't want to be disrespectful, but this isn't the most talented offensive roster in the NFL. We know that.
Hey.
So, no,
there's Judy's on that team.
Remember?
Quincho
Judy's a good
Judkins.
player, but like I think there are 2 other, because Tillman's hurt. The 2 other receivers I think are young kids in Jamari Thrash and Isaiah Bond. So like you got young players now. Fannin, their young tight end, has been awesome. With him and Njoku are good players together, and so, but you're not going out there with like a ton of firepower, and so I think it's just realistic that I think there will be good moments, but I would expect some certain struggles going against that defense.
9:30 a.m. We can't wait to watch that on NFL Network. We hope Olsen is on the call again. He was fantastic to wake up with, and the Vikings' 2-game international run could be 2 L's, even though they made this decision allegedly because they didn't want to play in Pittsburgh or in Cleveland. Let's just go and do the international games back-to-back. Could come back 0-2. Still believe in KOC. Okay, let's pivot away from that. Let's talk about the biggest news of the day. Life of a Showgirl, 12 songs. I Like Canceled is my favorite if I had to get into it. Actually Romantic, also awesome. And I think Wood is about Travis Kelce's. So from my early,
pretty graphic.
I'm not 100% sure if there's full descriptors in it. Just from my gathering, my intel, my wife tried to brief me on the way out this morning on what she stayed up last night and listened to. I would like to let people know that we are massive Taylor Swift fans, and also the way Taylor Swift was kind of treated by the music industry. I think the way she views it is very similar to how I think the sports media world has viewed us. So I take a lot of the things she says in her messaging, in her diary, and journalism as like Who's Afraid of Little Old Me You Should Be is like a gangster-ass song, especially if you've been in a position where you've walked into a suit's office and told them to go fuck themselves. So I am a massive fan of Taylor Swift. Congrats to her. On that note, Kansas City Chiefs might be all the way.
The movie tonight. My daughter was up at 6 o'clock in the morning playing the album. I think she's like, there's a movie that documents the tour or something. I want to say, or the album make. She's going tonight.
Of course, she's playing 6D chess. Okay, there's 4D chess. She is always doing it. On that note, Andy Reid might be with the Kansas City Chiefs. They might be all the way back. Connor has the last question for you here, Dano.
Yeah, Dano, first of all, I really do want to give you gruff, but you were right about Mac Jones, so hats off to you, Bill Belichick. Yikes. What do you think about the Chiefs right now, Dano? It feels as though they're kind of hitting their stride a little bit here. Rasheed Rice comes back in 3 weeks, whatever, week 7, and they're 2-2. So it looks like they're going to be, around 500. Kind of get Rasheed back. You saw how much it mattered getting Worthy back last week. Is there a chance here that everyone was burying the Chiefs the first 2 weeks, and then they're about to just rip off 15 games in a row, especially with Taylor Swift's new showgirl bumping through Arrowhead on Sundays?
Yeah, if they stylistically and scheme-wise do what they did this past week, yes. So if you were to ask me what teams I loved watching the most this past week offensively, when it comes to doing things differently, it was Kansas City, it was Pittsburgh. You talked about Pittsburgh and the 6 offensive linemen and The Washington on there, I think that was like 16 snaps of it. I have been begging for Kansas City to just play a little bit of throwback football to help them. Put the quarterback under center, go a little bit more play action. I think 17 times this past weekend they put Patrick underneath the center. A couple times also with 6 offensive linemen. I just think it calms them down a little bit and allows them to have an efficient run game. They're not going to be this crazy explosive run team right now. And so, I think that, like, for me, that was a big deal. And I know it's not a ridiculous amount of snaps, but that alone, it gave them efficiency in the run game. It got Patrick on the move a little bit off his spot. It gave them a couple easy completions. It allowed them to protect him a little bit. And then they hit a couple of those shots downfield. So, like, if that's what they're going to be offensively, and again, it's not like there's remaking of identity. I just am of the belief, and I know people disagree with me. I know there's coaches who think I want to get him fired because of me saying this. It's not. I just don't think you can live in the gun world 90% of the time right now. And I think the Chiefs kind of morphing a little bit last week doing that. That was my favorite game plan of the Chiefs in like the past 2 seasons just because of the way it looked.
Who were you trying to get fired there? Just in your back of your mind, who was it that you were saying should not have a job?
I'm not trying, like, I have such great respect for these coaches. I'm not trying to get
all of them? Every one of them?
Okay, all of them? Okay, yeah, all right, never mind. Dan, have an incredible weekend. We appreciate the hell out of you. You crushed it this week on television. We love watching. Make sure you get your hydration in.
Yeah.
Okay, we appreciate you.
Tua told us that.
All right, boys.
Carbs.
You guys are the
Carb
best,
up
man.
too.
Thank you.
Carbs and water.
Carb up too. No concussions.
No carbs. No carbs.
Well, you're going to get a concussion then.
Yeah.
Watch that head of yours. We need that brain to give out a lot of takes, and some of them, Mac Jones would be Brock Purdy. We can celebrate. You're the man, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Orlovsky. Before the first hour ends, we have to hit it. Shout out to Dan Orlovsky. Ty Schmidt, huge day in baseball. Tigers get a win over the Guardians. They go. Cubs get a win over Slam Diego. And the Yankees beat the Red Sox. And none of us saw it. Ty, what happened last night? Congrats to your Yankees.
Thank you very much. Put up or shut up game. Let's get right to it in the bottom of the 4th. Ahmed Rosario with an RBI single off Connolly early to score Cody Bellinger for the first run of the game. And then this was kind of the story here. The 4th inning, the Yankees got all their runs. Anthony Volpe hit a little seeing eye single the other way. They scored. Giancarlo Stanton and plate another one. And, the Red Sox kind of fell apart a little bit. Austin Wells chops one to first base. Nathaniel Lowe, he can't hang on to it. It scored an error, and the Yankees score 2 more runs to go to 4-0. And then let's move ahead to the top of the 8th. They're up 4-0. Cam Schlittler induces a pop-up and with shades of Jeter's dive in 2004. Ryan McMahon goes over the railing into the Red Sox dugout. This will be a play Yankees fans circle and rewatch for years and years to come. Just unbelievable. Absolutely sells out. And, if he doesn't get caught there, he's probably breaking his back.
Nice they caught him.
It was very nice that they caught him because we're going to need that guy. You can see, very reminiscent of Jeter. This wasn't in the playoffs. This is just a regular season game against the Red Sox, but still selling out, going into the crowd, getting cut up. That was great. And then finally, in the top of the 9th, the Yankees bring in the guy we talked about yesterday, the Pittsburgh boy, David Bednar, and he channels his inner Troy Polamalu, shuts the door. Yankees win 4-0. But the big story here, Pat, is Cam Schlittler, the kid who pitched for the Yankees. He's a rookie. He's made like 9 starts this year. He's from Walpole, Massachusetts. Grew up a Red Sox fan, and he had arguably one of the best outings in the history of the postseason. 8 innings. Yeah. Crazy. 8 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, no walks. He goes right to the closer, and he's throwing over 100 all night, and it was pretty personal because people were talking shit to his mom on Twitter all day.
Whoa! Yeah, we appreciate that, Ty. Thank you for the update. The city of Boston's to blame for that kid being so locked in. We'll see you in the next hour. Goodbye. Last year, this segment became a little bit of a rumor. $1.7 million out the door for good causes and to great college kids. That's awesome. Have you ever kicked before?
Yes.
What do you mean you've kicked? Hold on. I was told you have never kicked before. I feel like I've been bamboozled a little bit here. You have kicked before?
My brother's a kicker, so every once in a while I go kick with him for fun.
Okay. Okay? We'll make it $250,000 for you, Logan, to start this season. Anything to say here to Logan as he tries to win $250,000?
After that hand gesture, breathe and close your eyes.
Okay, he doesn't want you to win. I do. So do these people. Oh,
let's go.
Logan, Herbstring will be holding for you.
Look, by the way, this is
tough terrain.
Tough.
This is real Ohio here. Glenn, if you want to come over this way, we'll put a little extra pressure on him. You got Pete running around. You got the mascots staring you down. They don't want you to win. Glenn doesn't want you to win. Peter is taking a dump in the middle of the field goal kicking contest. Sniff it in, Logan. That's Peter's manure. Now, through manure, great things grow. Will Peter's poop grow you $250,000? You only have one kick. I don't care how loud they chant for a re-kick. You only have one kick, Logan. Good luck, sir. 33 yards. Kicking is easy, everybody says. Let's find out.
Ready?
Glenn, what are your thoughts?
I'm trying to give you.
What are your thoughts?
This is really tough.
Say, I think that poop was a bad omen.
Yeah, I mean, Pete just pooped right in your face.
I can't believe we don't have turf.
Well, we're in Ohio. This is a football state. You gotta be tough. Logan from Ohio, sophomore in business finance. Does he win $250,000? Oh, yeah! Watch the poop. Watch the poop.
That's what I'm talking about.
Jeez. Logan, son. Congratulations. I'll tell you what. $250,000 week one of the college football season. Thank you for showing up. I'm proud of you. How do you feel, buddy?
I feel amazing right now. That was amazing.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. You definitely stepped in Peter's poop during your celebration, but who cares? Buy yourself some new shoes from Glenn Powell, Kirk Herbstreit, Stanford.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Here we go, hour two of the Pat McAfee Show. I'm AJ Hawk sitting in for Pat here at his desk in Indianapolis. He's down in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Huge matchup tomorrow. Vandy, Alabama. Football is the name of the game. Obviously, last night, Pat, the 49ers get a big win in overtime, 26-23. Yankees move on. Baseball is happening. Pat, what's going on? How you doing?
Good. Did you take your ears out there? Did you take your ears out?
Yeah,
put it back in
had
there?
a little situation getting these guys back in as we came back. You're right. You noticed
Well, I
that.
appreciate you handling that. Good adversity there. I never take them out because my ears are so weird. It normally causes a problem, though, because with these in, you can't hear anything that the humans are saying. For instance, there's a bathroom right here. This is maybe the greatest setup that I've had to go to the bathroom. Coming back in, there's some questions coming from down the hall. Mostly like, hey, when are we allowed to fucking walk through here? You know, a lot of that stuff. So I just keep the ears in. You know, ha, 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 do a lot of that. Ha, ha, ha. Do that at game day, too. A lot of ha, 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 which I actually can't hear them. But I always try to do like, hey, super positive stuff. Good to see you. Good to see you. So you even taking that out during a 3-minute break, I thought was a nice, confident, aggressive decision.
Yep.
And I appreciate you traveling to Indianapolis on this glorious Feel Good Friday. Obviously, I wish I was there with you and the boys. The Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Con, man, we heard Ty rattle off what happened in the 4th inning, and then obviously Bednar coming in with the Renegade. And Schlitter, is that his name? He said
Schlittler.
Schlittler. Okay. Well, consider me Schlitt City Native.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I love this dude. I also appreciate the fact he's from Boston, and he wasn't scared to say afterwards, like, yeah, it was Boston's fault, basically. This whole thing happened. It got personal for me after some hometown chirp. But okay, my mom's getting attacked. I'm not going to get into it. But there's a line. I think they crossed it quite a bit. I'm a competitor, and I'm going to go out there and make sure I shut them down. You know, Boston's fans. That's just how it is. We're aggressive back home, and we're going to try to get under people's skin. They just happen to pick the wrong guy to do it to, and the wrong team to do it to. Then there's a video of him walking off in between innings, and he actually, I believe, mouse. Yep, it looked like front Boston or.
Yeah,
nope, he says fuck Boston right there. Yeah, so that is his home. That is his hometown. Connor, you obviously Boston sports fan. It is a gift and a curse. You know, you can wake people up with how good of a shit talker you are. Feels like that potentially happened to Schlitt City here, pal.
Yeah, Schlittler, look, I mean, I am happy for him. The fourth inning was a great inning. It was the only inning I watched. But I told Ty before this started, as someone who is a Sox fan, of course I want Boston to win. But I know, personally, it won't bring me as much happiness as it brings Ty. So I'm not as bummed out. However, Schlittler, bitching and moaning, I get it.
What?
Okay? Hold on. I get it. All right? I love that he found motivation in this and fuck Boston and all that stuff. I love it. This kid is a little bit of a wuss. I don't know. I don't know where he's from in Mass. Walpole.
We're talking about his mom.
Need to know what side of Walpole.
He's
That's
a Rory
standard.
McIlroy fan too.
Yeah, well, okay. See, that's just standard stuff. I'm not a.
See, you're starting to talk shit on him right now. No, it's exactly what I think he was talking about. He's like, you know, obviously there is a chance that they could be proud of the Boston boy right now, clinching game for the New York Yankees. One of their own is out there doing it. But we all understand from sports towns that that's just not how it's going to go. It's going to get even more personal whenever you're from there. I appreciate the fact that he said, yep, I was about sick of seeing everything that they were saying about my family, my mother, and I went out there with a chip on my shoulder. I hope he's able to find that with Toronto, I believe is who they play next.
Yep.
Blue Jays, I hope maybe somebody in Canada goes, hey, your mom, don't you know something?
Your mom
to get
stinks,
him going?
buddy.
Your mom's meatloaf's not good.
Yeah, mom, because he was electric to watch, Ty. I mean, this dude was, he's been good for, you said 9 starts this guy's had? I just watched the highlights. I didn't see the game either. Connor, there's football on. That's going to be the decision every single time. I did see multiple TV setups for people and everything like that. But this dude's electrifying, huh, Ty? And the whole pitching crew, there's a picture of them from the locker room afterwards. And I looked through it. I'm like, I did not know this was the Yankees Aces. I had no idea that this was the New York Yankees Aces. Are you guys going to be able to win? Is this group stable about to win a World Series for the Yankees? Is that how we feel after getting through the Red Sox series, Ty?
A little. I mean, if he pitches like he did last night, because like that was what Alex Cora said, that the Red Sox manager said that after the game. He was basically just like, he was perfect tonight and we had to be perfect and we weren't. So that's why we're moving on. Anytime it's not the same thing as Skeens, who kind of right when he came up is throwing over 100, early in the game, just striking out guys left and right, seems unhittable. But yeah, he got called up on July 9th this year. And the question kind of the whole season was, hey, is this guy going to be involved in the postseason at all? We're not quite sure. And then it was, he could be a good piece for the bullpen. And then finally down the stretch, he pitched unbelievable. So it was like, you know what? No, he's going to get the deciding Game 3 against his hometown team. And, yeah, you could see, he was very few guys are throwing it 100+ still in the 8th inning, and he was. And just any time they, had any kind of threat, he squashed it immediately, just a grade A competitor. And then, yeah, he's kind of he's the one guy who you didn't really know who you were going to get. So they still have Max Fried, the guy they paid all the money to, and Carlos Rodon, who they paid a bunch of money to. But at the end of the day, this is kind of window dressing. You obviously hope a guy can go out and do this, but the Yankees' formula for winning is to hit more home runs and kind of just suffocate people early on. And they didn't really do that in this series, which I think is why a lot of Yankees fans are enthused about it, because they kind of They're just scoring runs on singles. Like it was, hey, your pitching has to be better than Boston's pitching during this series, and it ultimately was. But, now it's, hey, the Blue Jays and the Yankees are in the same division. They've played each other a bunch of times. They know how to beat them. So it'll be very interesting to see how that goes. But, yeah, for me, I'm thinking World Series or bust.
Okay, and let's go to the back room. Evan Fox, congrats to your Tigers getting a huge win. They said you guys were sliding, going to kind of maybe be the worst drop in the history of baseball alongside, and then you guys get a massive win. Congrats to you guys.
Yeah, hell yeah, Pat. That's just what this team does. That's what this city does. They're just gritty. So when they have one of the worst schnides of all time, it doesn't matter. We're in the big dance, and we're moving on. Feed me big dumper, baby. Let's go, boys. I'm really pumped up about it.
Okay. You want the big dump.
Yeah. The big dump has been sitting on his big dump, so I think he's going to be a little rusty, and we're coming for him.
Eating so much
let's go to one half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone. You gave a stat there about the sports books winning on a regular basis. Can you reiterate what that is as we look ahead to this weekend and inevitably make our own picks, Tone?
So going into last night, games where 60% or more of the public was on a certain side, the public was 10-24 against the spread, which was 29%. We didn't exactly get to that 60% last night. We got to 58% for the Rams. So, if you want to round up there now, 10-25, the public is against the spread on, let's call it 58% or more of the bets this season. So not good for the public so far this year. Really good for the sports books.
Yeah, that's seemingly every goddamn year.
Yes, it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a living legend, a GOAT, an icon, a man whose field is named after him that I'm staring at right now. 7-time national champion, College Game Day Emmy Award winner, friend of the program, still lives in town. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Saban.
He's juiced.
He's real fired up.
Slide this in under here.
So a little different than coming down the tunnel for a game.
So this is brand new, they said. They said this is brand new, this all the designs and everything like that. Is that accurate sentiment here? They kind of, they just did this, I believe, 2 weeks ago. They debuted this. You won all these, so you should know, I guess.
News to me, but it looks good.
Looks great.
It certainly does look good. I didn't think about the post walk down the hallway motion. This is me on the PTZ right now, Coach Saban. I don't know if you can see it. I got a pretty good little touch here. I'm going to try to center us around a Roll Tide. I've given out 400 Roll Tides. That is the common greeting around here, I assume. And how many do you give out daily?
Common greeting, and it's something that's you got to get used to, because when I first came here, probably 20 years ago, and everybody says Roll Tide as if they're saying hello.
Yes.
So that's just how you learn to respond.
Yeah, you got to do that.
It just is what it is.
I went into Rama Jamma this morning. Many. Roll Tide, Roll Tide, Roll Tide. 2 eggs, bacon, grits, biscuit. Thank you. Roll Tide, Roll Tide. Coffee. Is it hot? Of course. Give me one of those. And then Josh Chapman's there with me. Obviously, you know Josh Chapman. He's one of the greatest teammates I've ever had. Nose tackle for the Indianapolis Colts. I think he's a 4-time national champion now, 2-time as a player, 2-time as a coach and member of the staff here at Alabama. I believe he's one of your favorite players of all time, if I had to guess. He's one of my favorite teammates of all time. He's 380 pounds right now. He can still move. Don't you worry about it. He can still move. He was eating a lot of grits. He was getting after it. It was the Southern hospitality felt very real here. And also, plastered all over the wall is ball, just photos of football. This entire city revolves around football. Obviously, Bear Bryant had great history. But what you were able to build here is very special. You still live here. Do you take it in? Are you getting a chance now that you're retired as the coach, go shake hands, kiss babies, and understand what you did not only for this university, but economically to this entire city, bro? You've done so much here. I hope you take that in and really enjoy that and celebrate that at some point.
Well, we had a lot of people contribute to it through the years. So, I feel special that we were able to have championship teams and teams that people could be proud of and were excited about, and that impacted the university and the state in a very positive way. But, Miss Terry and I, we're just kind of, your legacy is what you leave behind. Hopefully we leave something behind, but now we're doing something completely different, building a children's learning center. So
What?
we're focused on that. So
Where's that?
We
Is
just
that-
keep
is that
on
here?
keeping on. Yeah, it's being built where the old Tuscaloosa news building was, tore it down, building a big children's learning center.
You're a good
So-
man. You and Miss Terry are great people, genuinely. I want you to know that. Getting a chance to learn about you as a human and meet you as a person, and Miss Terry and your entire operation, you're as real and as authentic as it gets, brother. And you're a special one that humans have, and especially in the sports world. Let's talk about this game tomorrow. Vandy, pretty noted on this show. What was that? Was that last year we were in Oklahoma, boys?
Yeah,
Is
I
that what it
believe
was?
so.
Yeah, everywhere is hard to play in the SEC. All right, except for Vandy. Then Vandy beats Alabama and it goes absolutely crazy. And it wasn't just a kind of a flash in the pan for this Vandy team. It feels like with the NIL, with the transfer portal, how awesome Nashville is, and their education I think is very good down there at Vandy as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's like they're becoming like a real team, and I think that's an upside of the NIL and transfer portal era. We're seeing it right in front of our eyes here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. This is a lot better Vanderbilt team this year than what they had last year. Last year, to me, it was the Diego Pavia show. He ran it. They did quarterback runs. He dominated the game. He dominates the game now in a different way because, to me, he makes every player on his team better because he's a much better passer. He went from 57% to 70% completion. He's got better skill guys, better runner. I think they're a little better on defense. So this is a real team to me. And this guy is a tremendous playmaker. He's like a point guard out there. So this is going to be a real challenging game. I think the big thing is you talk about what's people's perception. And, you have this perception of Vanderbilt being an academic school that's always struggled in the SEC, especially in football.
Absolutely.
That's not the case anymore. But it's hard to get that perception out of your head. I mean, they beat South Carolina at South Carolina. I mean, this is a good football team.
Great football team. They also went into, I think, Virginia Tech in the second half and handled them. Last year, obviously, a lot of upsets. But you talk about the perception of what Vandy is. It's hard to sell fan bases, especially in the SEC. Alabama fan bases, like, hey, this is not Vandy of old. This is a very good Vandy football team. How do you think the people of Alabama feel about a game against Vandy being a game day game with all the, do you think there is a more respect for the Vandy team, or do you think that's going to take a while for people to get to? Because the Boers, I assume, wanting you to tell everybody, hey, this is a good Vandy team. This is a very good Vandy football team. Because optically, to your point, would not be great for this Alabama team. But Vandy can definitely come in here and get one if they
All right,
the way
so
they play.
There's two things here, if you want me to be honest.
Yes, I would.
There's perception, which the perception of the Alabama folks after being here for all these years is win every game.
Yeah, they got all these.
All right, that's,
they got all
first
these.
of all, it don't make any difference if it's Vandy, Florida, Georgia, it doesn't matter. We expect to win every game. I like that standard. Some people, that bothers. But I'd hate to coach at a place that didn't have a standard and didn't have an expectation that you're going to win the game. That's one. Two, I do think that the Alabama folks have a much better respect for Vandy because of last year, even though we didn't play very well, turned the ball over. And I think it's going to be really important in this game that we control the tempo of the game. We need to keep the ball on offense, run it a little better, because the one thing Vandy's defense is going to be able to do is they get you in third down now. They have really good pressure package, and they're bringing people from everywhere. So Ty's going to have to handle that. And but if we can run the ball, if Alabama can run the ball and have more balance on offense, because even at Georgia, we didn't run the ball that great. We just converted third downs, 13 for 19, 8 for 8 to start the game. So that was the difference in the game. And whether it was 3rd and 8, 3rd and 11, didn't matter. We converted third downs. I don't think you want to sort of make that your MO as a team. I think you want to have balance because it's going to be tough to contain Vanderbilt the whole time, so keep the ball away from the guy.
You talk about not wanting to be your identity as a team that just gets third downs, because that's like a three-point shooting team. Now, granted, if you got Steph Curry, whenever push comes to shove and you don't get a couple of those, all of a sudden you're shit out of luck.
Shit out of luck.
There it is.
You
Or
got
it doesn't matter. It runs faster than shit through a tin horn.
Yeah.
Or any of the other.
Well, that's what, when you got bad defense, that's what happens. They run through you like shit through a tin horn.
Why are you putting it through there?
Yeah, that's.
Why is it in the tin horn?
Can we explore this a little bit more?
How's it getting there?
Yeah, because you said this on game day last year, and obviously it caused all of our brains were just like, oh, that's hilarious. I could see that going. So that's like diarrhea. They're not really like a big thick, because
you're not pushing it through there, are you?
Because if you got a log, that the horn.
Just visualize
getting clogged up.
A trumpet, and shit goes right through it.
So it's a big.
The guy's
it's
sick.
a big horn.
The person's sick, right?
What did they eat though? Like.
Yeah.
All right, let's move along. Let's move along, please. Let's move along. AJ has a question for you, Coach.
Coach, with the Georgia Bulldogs, if you're Kirby, what's he telling his team? Obviously, they lose a big one to Alabama. What do you tell him to make sure this thing isn't a multiple-week kind of hiccup and everything is still out in front of you?
Well, I think Kirby probably a little bit disappointed in the big plays they've given up on defense. That's not typically how they play and what they do. Obviously, the issue in the game last week was not getting off the field in third down. If you take all the other parts of their defense and say, how do we play in the game? They played really well. I mean, they stopped the run. They affected the quarterback to some degree, even though they didn't get sacks. But they couldn't get off the field on third down. So they got to have a better plan for that, and the players have to do a better job of executing it. I think Gunner, has to settle down even more. There were times in a game where I think he aborted the play when he didn't need to, so that they can play with a little bit more consistency. And, the 4th and 1 stop in the game was huge. So, there's 3 or 4 critical plays in the game that are going to make a difference in the game, and that 4th and 1 that they didn't make when they could have tied the game with a field goal was critical in the game. So I don't think Georgia's that far off. And I think this was one of those measuring stick games that, okay, we're not that far off. Alabama's not that bad. We didn't lose to a bad team. All right, what do we got to do to get better? And I think Kirby's really good at that, and I think his team will respond well to a loss. Honestly, I think when you win all the time at home, that it gets to the point where I always thought as a coach that it wasn't always an advantage to play at home because there's lots of distractions.
A lot of them.
And then when you win all the time, the players start thinking, we're playing at home, we're going to win. So they lose respect for what it takes to win, regardless of where you're playing, because they just think, well, we got the crowd, we got all this, we're just going to show up and make it happen. It doesn't work out that way, especially when you're playing pretty good teams. And they won, 30-some games in a row at home. So maybe their players were a little complacent about that. 33 games at home. Washington had 22. They both go down in the same weekend. I wonder what history has to say about that, the 2 longest home winning streaks going down in the same exact weekend. I appreciate you pointing out, hey, when you win that many games at home in a row, people get comfortable because you've probably done it 14 different times. You are absurd. You know that. You are absurd. And I heard about those 5 games. You shouldn't let your players give books to people. Okay, that's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting what he did here. Okay, I want to let you know that. They took 5 games away from him. Do you know this? Did you know this story?
No. What happened?
First year he was here, he and his staff found out that some of his players were either utilizing their scholarship money or something to give books to other people, giving books away, or maybe they were getting $20 or whatever. They found out about it. $500 in total is what it was. 3 years of probation for the team and 5 losses taken away. That's his first year here. Did you know that?
Yeah, but there's a story. There's always a story behind the story. When I came here, we were the only team, some of you guys that are older, we had loan of books in college instead of they bought you your books and you could keep them at the end. So the old way of scholarships back when I played, and we were still antiquated that way here at Alabama. So we were going to change from loan of books, where you had to turn your books in at the end of the semester on scholarship, to just buying the books for the players and let them keep them. So we did an audit, and that's how we found out internally that there was, a few guys that were buying books, track guys' books, so that weren't on scholarship. So you got to give them credit for having compassion, but it was against the rules, and we got nailed for it. And if you look at it, though, it's really, and what's happened in this day and age of football today, you're talking about the ultimate mouse manure when you're up to yours in elephant sugar. Ultimate.
Well said, Coach.
Yeah, that's kind of the NCAA's thing, though, brother. That's kind of their, or it was.
Uh-oh.
Fly over! Cameraman!
Come on, Cameraman!
We're in a tunnel. We can't get it. We heard you, though. If whoever's flying that plane is a watcher of the show, which I've learned is a pretty good majority of them, that sounded cool. We didn't get to hear it, but it sounded very, very cool. Speaking of losing and having bounce back capabilities, this Alabama team has had to show that. FSU, obviously, week 1, we all saw it. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Coach, I have a question. Gus Malzahn is 3-6 against you, and kudos to you because that is actually a really good record against you. And if you count the win earlier against Bama, he's 4-6 against Bama. What is it about Gus's offense that makes it so difficult for like these defenses that have all these athletes and size, and they're always normally good? I think they're going for 600 yards a game so far this year. But what is it about Gus's offense that gives teams problems and could give Miami a problem?
Well, Gus always gave us the most problems when he had a running quarterback, which is obviously what he has now at Florida State, because he is very stubborn and committed to running the football. So when you add the extra element of quarterback runs with all the zone options, zone read, slider options, all that stuff, it adds a whole nother element to the offense. And then they have a really good play action pass, system that goes with that. Not a great drop back team, but when they have a running quarterback, it creates a huge advantage to me for Gus in terms of what he loves to do. That's when they gave us lots of problems. A couple of those games were crazy games, man, crazy games, where they beat us kick 6. One time we were going to get the ball back with a minute and something to go. We had 12 guys on the field. I mean, just crazy stuff. But good coaching on their part.
I watched just 2 nightmares. We had 12 guys on the field. I have no idea how we have 12 guys on the field. Kick 6. Have you ever heard of something so ridiculous? We lost on that one, too. I mean, I like the fact that you still have all the memories of the bad ones. Because a lot of these numbers, brother, up here, are you. This whole shit here. Can we hit this thing one more time? This whole shit here? I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, but, I remember all those games that we didn't win and the ones that we lost. A lot more than the ones that we won.
But what about this, though?
But
you did this. Look at this. Look at the lights.
Tide.
It's like the Detroit airport. You haven't been in there in a long time, Ferrari dealer.
Oh, that is sweet, right?
Tunnels. Coming across the top. You know what I mean? It's an awesome thing. But all of this is because of you. How do you feel about Kalen DeBoer at this stage? How do you think he has handled this team? A lot of pressure, mounting pressure there whenever obviously the first week does not go the way that everybody was hoping that it would go. Whenever you think about Kalen DeBoer bouncing back, what is your immediate thoughts? And have you talked to him much? I know you're in the same building.
Yeah, I talked to him on occasion. We talked after the Florida State game. But, I think Kalen's done a fantastic job of taking an expectation that everybody had at Florida State and the disappointment of that and getting the team psychologically turned around to get away from playing. I thought they played with a lot of anxiety at Florida State. When the game got 7-7, it seemed like the energy level changed based on, everything everybody talks about around here is winning. Winning. And sometimes that can affect the players' focus on what do I need to do to win, and they're so worried about the outcome they create a bunch of anxiety because of the expectations. You heard me talk about this before. So you got to figure out a different way for the players to approach the competition. Like simple things, like play one play at a time.
Yep.
Don't focus on the scoreboard. Focus on the next play. Don't worry about the crowd. They're not going to make any plays in the game. Things like that players can focus on to maintain the respect of what it takes to win. And I think Kalen has done a fantastic job of that. And you see the different level of tenacity and the way the players have competed in the last 3 games. Now, the next question is they had a big win. How are they going to respond to the success of having a big win?
Oh, no. Tell them they're good. You should say they're good right now.
They are good, but Vanderbilt's good too.
Rat Boys in the tunnel right now, coming from this. Connor has a question for you about an SEC team that's battling at the quarterback position.
Yeah, Coach, John Mateer was the Heisman front runner. It looked like Oklahoma was going to have a magical season. Still can, but it kind of was stopped short with Mateer getting hurt. What do you think Oklahoma needs to do to stay hot without Mateer at the helm? And how do you think they're going to change their style, or will they change their style because Mateer's not out or not playing?
Well, I don't know a whole lot about their backup quarterback, but I think it would be smart for them to make sure they're doing whatever that player can do. You know, if he's a runner, run him. If he's a good drop back passer, pass him. Because I think they got to try to win the games with the other parts of their team elevating. In other words, how well do we play defense? How can we make things happen on special teams? And then don't lose the game on offense by doing what the quarterback can do, and don't ask him to do things he really can't do. That's what I would say. Now, I think they still will have a chance because Mateer is going to miss, 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah, depending.
And if they can keep from losing more than one game during that time, I think they'll still have a shot.
Venables' defense always going to be good. The thought of your season getting derailed by an injury like that, because, man, we were out there at Oklahoma. It was awesome.
Yeah.
We saw the Venables defense going to do his thing. Arbuckle and Mateer are going to be maybe the story of college football. Oklahoma's all the way back. And then you just get a devastating blow out of nowhere, like, hey, guys down. Next man up is the speech, obviously, that you have to give over there. That's what Venables is trying to do. And at night, when Venables sits down, does he say, what's the problem? Does he talk to the football gods? Does he say, what the hell did I do? Is there any of those moments that you obviously can't let the players see?
Well,
Did you ever have those?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tua got hurt. Tua broke his hip. We probably had, maybe one of the best teams that we ever had the year that Tua broke his hip. And, we were ahead 36-15 or something at the time. It was right at the end of the second quarter. And, but Mac Jones was not ready at that time, even though the next year we won the national championship. With Mac Jones playing, in 2019, we had one of the best teams that we ever had, and we got derailed because of that injury. So, I can see you get derailed. I mean, it happens.
You can talk to the football gods saying, what is the problem here?
But I think from a leadership standpoint, you can't do that. You need to say, okay, how do I lead our players, our team, the people in our organization, our coaches, everybody in the organization to being positive about what do we have to do to fix this and give us a plan and an option so that we do have a chance to be successful. So you're creating an hope and an enthusiasm in the organization so that everybody's not sitting around like a fan saying the sky is falling, we lost the quarterback.
Yeah, but just tell me you're a human, though.
Yeah, I'm a human because Mac Jones goes to Auburn and throws 2 pick sixes when we got the ball on the 3-yard line and we run it back to touchdown, and we end up getting beat 44-41 or something. I've been there. I get it. All right. But
okay, let's talk about Mac Jones. He just had his best professional game last night, prime time. And you said he wasn't ready that year. The next year he was ready. Puts together one of the greatest years in college football with Sark as OC. Obviously, New England goes how it goes. Then he goes down to Jacksonville. Now he's with Shanahan. Shanahan was potentially going to draft him at number 3 overall. Instead, they end up with Trey Lance because the upside, the athleticism, everything like that. Shanahan getting to experience this with Mac Jones right now. Mac Jones handling it perfectly, saying, hey, this is Brock Purdy's team. I'm just here to be the backup quarterback, do his thing. Did you get a chance to see last night? And whenever you see something like this happen for one of your players, is there a sense of fulfillment or happiness for them? Because for a long time, he's been getting buried about being a bust. This guy sucks. And then he goes to the 49ers, and it's almost like a perfect storm for him to be great. And last night, he was certainly that, as he has been all season for them.
Yeah, he has been all season for them, and it does give me, great joy.
Jeez,
very proud of all of our guys that go on, and this is what they came here to do. This is why they work hard. They wanted to win at Alabama, but they also wanted to have a career for themselves and play in the NFL. So when they do it and are successful, it makes me feel wonderful and very proud, almost like a father who is proud of the son, all right, which I've had the opportunity to be quite a bit as well. So anyway, I'm so happy for Mac, but I think Mac was one of those guys that was in bad situations in New England relative to coaching and all that type of stuff, and who was the offensive coordinator and how did he get developed when he came in the league. And he hasn't been in great circumstances. I think right now he is in a really good circumstance with Shanahan, their offense, the players he's got around him, because he is a guy that will execute. He's really, really smart, so he's going to do exactly what you tell him to do. And he wants to know exactly what you want him to do. And I'm not sure he always got told exactly what it was expected of him before going to the 49ers.
He's got a lot of moxie. I enjoy the way. It feels like he is mentally, physically, emotionally in the perfect spot with Shanahan, and we want to let him know it's fun to watch. Did you see his suit? You see his suit? Did you dress him? Were you his tailor? Did you see what he was wearing last night?
I did not see his suit.
You look good in that suit last week. Hey, can you look? Did you see his suit? This is his suit.
This is Mac right here.
Pretty good.
I like it, Mac.
He won.
Oh, do you? Class.
He won. I'll tell you what, you need to win that. You wear that in. You need to win, and he did, and he played his best game, so keep doing it. Sometimes you do things like that. You know, there's going to be a lot of heat. You know, a lot of people are going to watch you, put a little public pressure on yourself to perform at your best. I thought you looked really good in that all-white suit last week, brother. I thought you looked really good. I know you were pumped about that.
I've gotten a lot of, I don't want to say it, on
what?
About wearing that white suit.
Compliments? Compliments, you mean?
Guff?
Yeah. I thought mine was going to be white. If it means anything, I thought mine was going to be white. When I showed up off-white and I saw what everybody else was wearing, and I know all the conversations that took place, I was like, whoa, I'm certainly adding a little fucking heat to the fire right here. I will say that, but I thought you looked great. And the Air Maxes that you had on, very clean. I thought you did a fantastic job. Let's talk about a fantastic job that needs to be had. Texas travels into a tough environment in Florida. And obviously, we chatted about this during a production meeting. I think Jimmy Guerra brought up the fact that looking ahead, that was definitely where game day was projected to be. Texas, Florida, DJ Lagway, Arch Manning. They're kind of doing what they're doing right now. Ty has a question for you on that note.
Yeah, Coach, obviously everything with Arch Manning hasn't gone the way fans, media, pretty much everyone has expected thus far. What are your thoughts on that game this weekend? And do you think that there's potential cause for concern for Texas as they really get into the meat of their schedule now, given kind of how poorly they – or how poorly, I guess, it looked in games against kind of substandard competition?
Yeah, well, I think probably if I called Sark right now and said, you know, what are you concerned about? He would probably say, well, we haven't been able to run the ball with the kind of consistency that we'd like to, so we don't have to put everything on the quarterback. And then the quarterback has been a little bit inconsistent in his fundamental accuracy, which is, you know, getting better, but not where he'd like for it to be. I think their defense has been pretty good, but I think they need to get those two things fixed on offense, and they're going to play against a really good defensive team. And they're going to play against the defensive team that plays a lot of, it's cover 7, but it's kind of an umbrella, too deep, you know, where the safeties are involved in the run, but yet you got too deep against the pass. So there's not going to be as many clean looks for the quarterback. And that's one of the reasons that they only give up 173 yards a game passing. I think you saw last week, you know, Miami's quarterback had a little bit of struggle, you know, with that secondary. So I know they don't get a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but I think this is going to be an issue. If Arch is not accurate with the ball, it could be a problem. And if they can't run it and he's not accurate with the ball, that adds up to how do you make plays and how do you score in the red zone when you get in the red zone.
How is Florida when it's alive? The Swamp. Everywhere in the SEC is obviously good. I'm not going to say, including Vandy now. Even, you know what I mean? I'm saying everyone's. Florida, the Swamp has like a little. AJ, don't you think? At least in Pittsburgh, I think I thought that growing up, like Florida, the Swamp, and maybe that's because Tebow and Leak and everybody. And what
it seems crazy loud. Watching on TV, it seems like it's a really tough place to play.
Yeah,
and it was. But most of the time when we played there, they were really pretty good. Even the last time we played there, when Dan Mullen was the coach, I mean, it was a tough place to play. And I think we won 32-31 or something. I mean, it was a tough game. But it is a tough place to play. But I think, you know, all fans are going to go with the momentum of the game. And it was always our goal when I was coaching to take the fans out of the game with good execution, and create momentum for our team so it takes the fans out of the game. And fans are pretty fickle sometimes when it comes to that. And the more enthusiastic they are, sometimes the faster they go out of the game. So that's got to be how you got to approach it, I think, when you're going into a place like this and playing.
Okay, so let's come back to this game here on your field that's going to be played tomorrow. Vandy, obviously, Alabama has created some magical moments. Run the clip, Foxy, please.
Our house, we show you how to play some SEC ball. It don't matter where you're from. You're going to know what ball we play. Alabama, you're next.
Okay, Alabama, you're next. Now, you guys, you stopped from scoring 60, I think, against them in this particular game. There's a picture of a bunch of offensive linemen, I think the starters around you, asking you to keep going because there was like 1 minute left in the game, and I think it was 2nd and goal or 1st and goal. I saw it on the internet, and I think you were calling off the dogs at that particular point. But that type of motivation was, I think you said, I would have paid that guy $1 million to say that going into the Vandy game. Don't need that now, right, with Vandy? And how good does it feel to be that guy now, knowing that what he's saying, maybe Vandy can live up to? Aren't you happy for that, Oos, right there, saying, hey, bud, good for you. I appreciate it.
I was happy for him at the time because I was losing sleep over how I was going to motivate our team to play Vandy. And he did it for me. So that was a good thing. And if I was him, I would be proud now of the fact that the Vanderbilt program has elevated itself to being 5-0, ranked, and has a chance to do something spectacular this year.
He should say it again. He should come out. Shouldn't he come out and say it again?
I wish he would.
All right. Anybody got any more questions for Coach back there?
I want to ask about Mac Jones. Coach, what was it like with coaching Mac in college? We heard he was pretty lively in practice, very competitive, like to go back and forth a little bit with coaches. Did you ever have that with him?
Yeah, I used to call him John McEnroe. Mac was a tennis player in high school.
Oh.
All right? So, like when Mac threw a bad pass, he'd kick and fuss and cuss and all that. So I'd say, John, you going to throw your racket now? I said, you can't do that and play quarterback. You're affecting the whole team out here. You make one bad play and you go bananas. I said, you can't do that. You're going to have bad plays. You got to play the next play. You can't get emotional about it and let it affect everybody around here with your negative body language. So it's not an individual sport. You can't throw your racket. Cut that shit out.
Well, I'll tell you, it took him a little bit. It took him a little bit, but I think he has reached his maximum Mac Jones potential. And him growing up in tennis is such a different. Now all of a sudden, a lot more makes sense. I heard some people in the Thunderdome going, yeah, because individual sports.
Yeah,
that is different than team sport. Yeah, like how you react, how you interact, your responses versus what everybody else's responses, especially at the quarterback position. So congrats to Matt. He a good player. Did you go watch him play tennis at all when you were recruiting him?
No.
Okay.
All right, but the other thing is as athletes, we kind of get taught when the coach, like when we're in Little League and stuff, and the coach is disappointed in us, that we should actually show disappointment in ourselves, as if that'll keep the coach from getting on us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly the opposite that you want to do. Because when you show disappointment, you're showing the guy you're playing against in a team sport that he's whipping your butt.
Yeah.
So why would you ever do that? You never want to show that kind of emotion. So, and that's something that, but I'm going to tell you what, the year Mac Jones played quarterback for us in 2020 and we won the championship, he never did that once. He was a great leader. He was a team guy, and he executed everything to perfection.
We're excited to watch him continue to grow. We have no idea what his future holds, but we do know that he's going to dress sweet. Mm-hmm. And if he's in that Shanahan offense, he's getting that ball out quick, and he's taking deep shots. 82% of the offense last night was through the air for Shanahan. I guess Shanahan's only won like 2 games whenever the number's been over 80%. Mac Jones carried them last night with a lot of injuries. It was a special night for him. I hope it continues. Maybe he's going to sign a $180 million deal this offseason.
Yep.
He's going to sign a $180 million deal. You think? What if you're giving up on Dylan Gabriel already?
No, not at all. I just, when it comes to quarterbacks who might get a bunch of money, the Cleveland Browns are the ones I look to overpay no matter what.
Yeah, this guy, former coach.
So, but I want to know, what number quarterback would that be? Because they've had about 30 different guys playing quarterback.
Have you seen the jersey? Have you seen the jersey? Have you seen the jersey?
Uh-huh.
Somebody made like a professional version of the tape jersey, and there it is right there.
There's been 10 since Baker.
Wow.
Detmer. When were you coaching this team? Who was quarterback?
Vinny Testaverde.
Doug Goat.
A little bit before this, I guess. Jeez,
right.
Louise.
Now I was there before they moved to Baltimore. So they actually didn't have a team for a while, which was a shame because Cleveland was such a great sports town. And, you know, the spirit that they had at Cleveland at the Browns, I mean, being a defensive coordinator there, you got to go to the dog pound at noon and everybody's dressed up like it's Halloween, barking at your ass. I mean, it's great.
Were you barking with them, or did you bark?
Oh, yeah, you got to bark back.
How's your bark? Pretty good?
Back then.
Thought you were gonna get
He knows I was trying to bait him right there. He's smart. He looked at you, son of a. Remember last week we go to the digital version. He's like, I'm getting the hell. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
That was, we appreciate you, man.
That was awesome.
All right,
Thank you for the hospitality here. And I'm going to break some news. He's feeding us tonight. Him and Miss Terry.
Wow.
Be great.
Cannot wait. I'm going to be walking in there on cloud 50, ready to eat everything in there. You know, maybe I'll slip some of the vitamins into your guys' food. Maybe tomorrow too a little bit. I appreciate the promo you put for game day too. I thought that was a really good promo. Whenever you spoke to the camera,
Yeah.
you're getting very good at those. I know those aren't the most comfortable things for you to do. You rather talk ball and talk about your experiences. You're becoming incredible television personality, and it's been an honor to watch you work, be a friend of yours, and it's great to be back in your town. And hopefully on Saban Field right there, the boys will continue a magical journey this year after a first week loss.
I hope so. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you being here. I love these guys. They're great. Football people. I like talking football.
Hell yeah.
Coach.
Team on me. Coach, you got anything to say? You gonna put your hand in, Coach? You can put your hand in?
There it is.
What do you got? What do you got, Coach? What do you got? What do you got? This is we're breaking this down. Then you're gonna get the fuck out of here. So what you want? You got any messages? For
Roll, Tide, roll.
Hell yeah.
Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3.
Team.
Goodbye.
There we go. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it, man. I'm shocked he didn't. Shocked he didn't bark. You didn't think he was
I
going
thought
to
he was
take the
going
bait?
to for a
I
second.
never get a few barks out of him.
Yeah, Saban's the best. I mean, it's so cool just listening to him talk, even about like Mac and former players and just where the team and DeBoer is going. It's like you get a real update on what Alabama is kind of going, hopefully, onto with DeBoer. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, I love how he said, I love the standard. I love that you are expected to win every single game here. And that's true. I mean, that's sort of, I guess everyone, if you're not there, you're trying to get there, right? Like, wouldn't you love your Iowa Hawkeyes to be in that situation?
Yeah, I mean, the standard is 9 wins every single year. So
which is really good. It's good.
We have a standard of our own, but can you imagine, like, Kalen DeBoer, like, just having him always around, that would be so hard. Just knowing that, hey, if we don't play our A game and play our best on Saturday and we squeak by someone who we should kill, like, people are just, this guy's still here. People are going to be like, well, can't we get his ass out of there?
And they hear him every first down they give up, too.
Yeah.
Like, we need to wear Saban. Saban's defense would never allow that to happen.
Well, and they listen to him every Saturday and Friday and stuff, so they know that, like, if he really wanted to, he could still do it. Like, it's not like he's too old, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, Saban's handled it well, though, hasn't he? Like, he hasn't got out there and peacocked around and acted like he didn't like DeBoer. He's been very, very supportive of DeBoer. Even though DeBoer did change his whole office up, didn't he?
That's what I was thinking.
Right? It went from, like, old school, almost like what early 2000s look like.
Maybe
like this, papers everywhere on his desk, to
rich mahogany.
Nice.
Unbelievable modern, like the modern straight lines, no papers anywhere.
People are saying it looks like
away.
a T-Mobile store now.
Yeah. It's easier to stay awake in DeBoer's, I would say. Like those late nights, those nice halogens in there.
Yeah, but does he have an actual wood-burning fireplace in there like Coach Saban
know.
probably did?
It looked like Coach Saban. There's a bunch of good games on this weekend, isn't there, Tone?
Yeah, there's it's not as good. Well, let me say this. It's not as good as it's supposed to be from last weekend, but there is still some good ones. Obviously, we talked about Miami at Florida State. That one lost a little luster when Florida State lost last week, but that's still a really good game. We talked about Vandy at Bama, obviously. Texas at Florida could be a sneaky good one. Houston is 4-0, and Texas Tech is going to Houston, so another one there. Mississippi State's only loss was in overtime last week to Tennessee, so them going to A&M. Like, there's some sneaky good games there, and then obviously you have the NFL slate that, there were some people talking some shit on it earlier in the week, but the more you look at it, like, I think it's a pretty solid
I like
slate.
Broncos-Eagles. I think that's a sneaky good game as well.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, but with what we've seen so far in the NFL, like, I know a lot of these games on paper seem like, shite, but, like, The Giants beat the Chargers last week. Like it is so
We
week
have
to
no
week.
idea.
And
It's too early.
literally any
Too
of
early to
these
know.
teams could beat anyone.
I mean, Bucks Seahawks. I think that one could be a really good game as well. I think the Seahawks are solid. We know the Bucks are good. Pat, I don't know if you got Coach Saban all packed up and on his way, but I didn't realize you're going to dinner tonight at his actual house. Is that what's going on?
Oh, he's hosting. He is hosting. Him and Miss Terry are hosting. I can't wait to get over there and see what the place looks like. And I heard you guys while you were doing all that talk, while I was talking to Coach Saban, and I heard you say, like, he's still in the building. It's like, yeah, he's still got an office here. He's still watching film as if he's the coach. And to Tone's point, it's hard not to just be like, can we not just get that guy out of that suite that he's in right up there? Just Can we just get him down here? And it's like I think he feels an obligation, which certainly is not the reality, but an obligation to Alabama for everything that Alabama has done for him. I think he feels that way. But I think everybody would understand if he just went down to Florida with Miss Terry and golfed every day and then just did college game day. Instead, I don't think he has the ability or the capability to get out of the daily routine of driving over here, doing his film, watching stuff, breaking things down, shaking hands, going to talk to people, leading, innovating, and then getting out of here. You know, it's like, I think he'll be doing this for the rest of his life. So Kalen DeBoer, and we talked about this when he got hired. Kalen DeBoer has a lot of confidence in himself. D3 champion, D2 champion, D1AA. Obviously, he gets up to Indiana, then he gets up to Washington, takes them to a national championship. It's like Kalen DeBoer has a lot of self-confidence in who he is as a coach. But I think anybody else would have cracked.
Yeah.
Like very, very quickly, I think. A couple losses, you lose to Florida State this year. Yeah, right. Get the hell out of it. How loud it was getting. Even by us, we were saying, like, hey, we love Kalen DeBoer. Reality of the situation here. This is just reality. He has never budged, man. And I think he's even changed his messaging with being in Alabama. So it's like, I'm very impressed by DeBoer. And Clark Lake, Vanderbilt. What a dog. I mean, they got dogs all over the field, so I'm very pumped to be here. And then you talked about those notable games. I mean, you got Air Force Navy also this weekend, which is obviously exciting for the United States of America. Anytime you get to the military academies taking each other on. And to your point, AJ and Tone, Bucks Seahawks, great game. Bucks Seahawks is a great game. I don't think any of us would really expect that to be a great game or look forward to that on a lot of weeks. But Bucks Seahawks, great game. Broncos Eagles, unbelievable. Commanders, Chargers, who's going to respond? Patriots, Bills on Sunday Night Football. I mean, maybe it doesn't stink as bad, especially because the Loud House is going to be back on TV with the Raiders coming to town. They have a 10 a.m. local start against us in the Loud House. So I know Max Crosby's going to be juiced, but anytime those West Coast teams have to come to East Coast time zone, I think that's tough. They're much more mentally tough than I am, but I think that's a difficult thing. So maybe we'll have a great weekend, and we're just kind of. And don't forget West Virginia BYU tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a big one, man.
You're damn right, Liz. Everything's still in front of us, brother. Okay. Yeah, we lose to Kansas by 100. Yeah, we lose to Ohio University.
That's a good team. How much was it? It wasn't really 100. Like, what was it?
30 or 40. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
Hey, AJ, yeah, we don't need to double down on it and give exact stats. It was a lot. Okay, we got murdered. I believe some people call it murked. Is what some people would call it, but we certainly did. Let's cover some of the news that maybe we didn't hit this week that we should have. The Big Ten has been talking to private capital firms to potentially infuse $2 billion into its schools. This would obviously require a new TV deal, which is up in 2036. The conversation around the TV deals and why it's so important is because if we were to get a top 60 or everybody on the same page, we would have to time up all the TV deals and all the network executives at the same time. So the Big Ten potentially infusing a $2 billion investment, maybe giving up a percentage of the Big Ten in total to one of these investment firms who have so much money, and then having to renegotiate so that they can upfront that payment back. I'm intrigued by it, AJ. Have you heard much about this in the Big Ten? But once again, Big Ten making money decisions like most Big Ten schools are doing at the moment. I don't mind the brainstorming. I don't mind the idea, especially if it's going to help all their sports teams around the Big Ten, AJ.
Yeah, they're going to need it. I haven't heard too much about it, but it always, to me, comes back to the TV deals. As you said, the TV deal runs to, 2036? So how do you find a way to group all that, to figure all of those logistics out? I'm not really sure exactly how it goes. I don't know. What does college football look like 5 years from now.
Nobody knows.
Let alone 10 years from now. I mean, no one even knows what any rules are, what you can or can't do right now. So next 2, 3, 5, 8 years, who knows what happens.
I think this was first explored, if I remember correctly, from Florida State maybe last year or 2 years ago. They were trying
in Clemson, yeah.
Yeah, in Clemson when they were potentially looking to get out of the ACC. I think it was J.P. Morgan at that time. So the Big Ten probably just saw that and was like, oh, and they probably saw the NFL, who private funds are now allowed to invest in and be like, oh, these are pretty
but
good
that's
ideas.
NFL though. You get equity in the team. What kind of equity do these private firms get in college in the Big
If
Ten?
you get equity in the school or the conference and they get these TV deals, then you get a chunk of that.
Yeah, it would be the conference. I think it would be in the conference. And then if the teams make the playoffs, that goes to the conference, right?
Correct.
And the conference
It
has to
does.
divvy it up.
Yeah.
So that money comes into it's like if the conference is negotiating a $2 billion deal, what's the percentage that the conference is giving up? I wish we could just cold call Petiti. I'm not going to do that. That's putting him in a bad spot. That's putting him in a very bad spot. Hey, Petiti, what the $2 billion? And then what's the TV? That's $2 billion. What? How many billions we got? Who's getting all these billions? So congrats to the Big Ten. I like them being innovative to try to figure this whole thing out. Also, Chicago's new stadium is a go in Arlington Heights. Money is now coming out. So the stadium itself is going to cost $2 billion. I believe the Chicago Bears are going to pay for the stadium itself. They have asked for $855 million in public funding for around the stadium, which is obviously Patriot Town. What do you guys call it up there?
Patriots Place, of course.
There it is, Patriots Place. You got Jerry World down there, where you don't just own the stadium and all the tickets happening there. The hotel around there, maybe a casino around there, restaurants, shops, just like in Lambeau at Green Bay. So they're asking for $855 million, but they announced it was a $5 billion thing. So where's the other $2.145 billion coming from, and where is that going, AJ? I think that is the big question. But anytime you get a green light to move on a new stadium, we as NFL fans are happy about that. I do wonder how long this is all going to take, and where's the other $2.145 billion coming from or going? I'm sure they'll figure that out. I'm sure it'll be very clean operation entirety. Go ahead, AJ.
Well, yeah, we know these things have never, like any kind of construction, it's usually over budget. So they're planning for this. They're anticipating that we're going to be $2 billion over. Is that what this is? But where does it come from? Then I guess they can crawl back to the city and say, hey, don't say we didn't warn you. We need good news. We don't need $2 billion. We need $1.95 billion from you. So it's actually a little bit less.
Actually, we need $3 billion.
Yeah, you're right. You definitely could.
If they're giving $2 billion just for the stadium, and then they're asking for $855 million for around the stadium, if they're going to get that much money, why didn't they just redo Soldier Field? I don't think I love it. Hey, I love it. And Kevin Warren, a man who partially negotiated the last Big Ten deal that we were just kind of chatting about, and I think there were some interesting strategies in negotiating that TV contract by Kevin Warren. And I think there's a lot of things said, we're canceling football during COVID, Kevin Warren, and all that type of stuff, and not going to let anybody on the Pat McAfee Show because they point out that I canceled football during COVID and also everything else. Kevin Warren, that guy, Kevin Warren, it's like didn't he want to go through the feng shui of the suites?
Oh, yeah. Correct. He was very hands-on with designing the suites and making sure the feng shui was correct.
Mm-hmm. So there's no way we're redoing Soldier Field because Kevin Warren suites have a different look. And I assume if you own everything like they're going to up there at Arlington Heights, the profit is massive. And I assume this is going to work out for Kevin Warren and the Chicago Bears. They might have a team that might be worth it too, brother, at this point. And so good for them. Anytime money is invested in the ball, we appreciate it. Speaking of that, Virginia Tech's board has approved adding an extra $229 million to its athletic budget. That's not in 1 year. That's a rollout plan over a few years. BA, obviously, friend of the program, Super Bowl champion Coach BA, is part of the advisory board for Virginia Tech to find their next head coach. They're going all in. It's like you can kind of figure out who's going, who's not going. Vandy, definitely a school that's going. Virginia Tech says they're a school that's going to be going as well. I respect and appreciate the hell out of that, AJ Hawk.
Well, and don't you think this is just a dog whistle for all the great coaches? Say, hey, you can come here. We need to recruit a great new head coach because guess what? We can win. If we don't have this in place, you don't really have a chance. You might be able to win 7-8 games, but you can't win at all.
And on that note, like nobody looks at UCLA in the football world as a good job. Correct. Everybody likes UCLA, like the school, the colors, the place, everything, the history. But nobody in football is like, you know what? UCLA will back you. They'll support you. That doesn't feel like it's a narrative right now for UCLA people. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing these ears without my headphones in because I can actually hear what they're saying. That is kind of how it's going. Chris Boswell earlier this year said that James Harrison told him in his first practice that if he misses a kick, he has to wash his back, which might be why he's so good. And Tua said that doctors told him that he needs to eat all the sandwiches and pizza he can because it's good for his concussions, in a nutshell. That's everything we haven't talked about this week. AJ, is that everything?
I think you nailed it. You nailed it real quick. It was nice.
Toxic Table, did I miss anything there, man?
Red Panda is practicing again after her wrist surgery. Let's go, Red Panda!
She can't afford another fall. We can't have her fall again.
Why would you even say that?
What are you talking about? You got to talk about it. If it's mentionable, it's manageable. That's Mr. Rogers used to say that.
That's a great saying.
Mr. Rogers is a great Pittsburgh Yinzer, okay? So he needs not to be quoted by you in a negative sense. He was nothing but positivity, which we will continue digitally, and we'll see you on Overreaction Monday. Going to be a great weekend of sports. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We'll see you Monday. Goodbye. Okay, I feel like I missed the goodbye, but they will get that I was saying goodbye. Sure. Let's take a break. On the other side, let's make our picks. I believe they're going to open this tunnel up completely for people, and while they're doing that, we're going to show you a great college football podcast with another guy, the other guy, Stanford Steve. AJ, you're killing it. We'll see you in a moment. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. Take 5.
It's been 222 days since we've done this. $250,000. I didn't expect that third one there.
Heard you ran in a CD last night. Is that accurate?
Not falling for it.
Fuck yeah!
I seen him dancing.
Basically naked.
I didn't see that.
Give me my first love.
Give me the
Canes, baby.
Here it goes. Feet together. Feet together.
It was great, and I really enjoyed it. I passed this torch. I'm doing a great guy.
Coach, I'm kind of...
John Cena, you can't see me.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah! My clone's having a, hell of a first.
That's wonderful to hear.
So we'll make it $300,000.
Gonna go on forever!
Forever!
Yeah.
Forever! O-H-N-O. Boomer! Texas! Well, I want to let you... Okay, we're starting early. Rocky Top, Tennessee.
No, we're still live, Coach. We're still live. He was like, get me the fuck out of here.
Another one of these makes him wear.
They look amazing.
Thanks, I appreciate this.
Oh, yeah, Coach Raymond.
Formation's called heavy, of course. I could call it just fat. They act
Pro Football Hall of Fame nominee, A.J. Hall. Hall of Famer, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It'd be news to me that the starting quarterback's been figured out.
Okay, so that has not been announced.
I'll go down and tell our staff right here.
That was pretty profound what you just said right there.
Oh, shit.
It's also a great day to live in the greatest country on earth, the United States of America. Thank you.
I'll be on the record saying this is impossible to pick these.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Randy Moss was faster than every DB.
I'm going to go with Rob. He influenced me, Tom.
Your form were changed by the order in Tom's presentation?
Yes, of course. I started this idea. I can change.
I don't know how I can sit here and argue against Randy Moss. I drove 7 hours in the middle of the night to host him on a visit to Tennessee. I'm not okay with Gronk over Mark. I'm not signing the release and letting Tom come away with 2 Patriots. I don't have I don't have one cold.
This is about Rushmore of receivers, which includes, for our purposes here, also tight ends.
That's the worst list I've ever seen.
Okay, that's the worst list?
My hobbies are spending time with friends and family and video games. I was looking at some list of things that turn women off the most, and one is if your hobby is video games.
Finals against the Lakers, up by 15.
16.
I think it was 15. I called the game.
I was at that game.
You were at the game, but I called the game.
Yeah, I'm sitting there next to Phil.
You have Iowa State wrestling on your Mount Rushmore. What are you talking about?
Okay, so what was your second one?
No, you're absolutely wrong.
3 guys.
I was a kid when you were still pissing off curbs. I bought that fucking record, and that was a band. Noel Redding.
You know what? I think there's only one thing left to do here. I've experienced cafecito time. I've experienced the wonderful culture. I've experienced the beautiful people, and I think we got some Canes over here. We got some Canes over here. We got some Canes over here. This day in Coral Gables is going to be one that I will remember for the rest of my life. Ray Lewis started his dance right here at Miami. Ed Reed started his legendary run here at Miami. The legends of football run deep. The moments are special. The national championships are in abundance. Just last year, a lovely University of Miami woman diver from Italy won a national championship. This thing's been staring at me all damn day.
You're out of your mind, brother. You're crazy.
Kirk, I'm a little winded.
That's what I was going to say. You talked the whole time you were running. I'll give you a chance to catch your breath, you son of a bitch. You're crazy.
I hope somebody got a lifesaver over there.
Is there a lot of hours?
Something. My man's out of breath.
It is a long way to the top.
Are you going to jump in your suit? Are you going to jump in
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so
I'm tired for you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to take the jacket off. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, he's taking the shirt off now.
Okay. All right.
Looking ripped.
Yeah,
looking ripped.
fit.
Oh, he's taking the drawers off.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The pants.
Not the drawers.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you come to this beautiful campus, you will notice quickly that the students here love this university. They love this atmosphere. And I'm with everybody. I think the U is back. Give me.
He's got the Speedo. Oh, my God.
Give me the.
Canes, baby.
Here it goes.
Oh, God.
Here it goes. Feet together. Feet together.
I think that was the lead pencil for the pencil.
And he's got the U. Flashing it out.
Oh, my God.
McAfee with the refreshing plunge. Miami and Florida tonight. Let's have a look at that again. Check out the form, Herbie. Oh, man.
Let's see the toes.
We need just to
Hey, good, pretty good.
Legs together, right? Perfect.
Perfection.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Here we go, hour 3, the Pat McAfee Show. I'm AJ Hawk, sitting in for Pat here in Indy. Thanks to Nick Saban, Dan Orlovsky, Pat's in Tuscaloosa. Football! What's going on, Pat? Who you got over there? What a shirt you got on there, Gumpy. I see you. Who you represent?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Dugout.
You know what's going on there. He bought this from a tent outside of Ramajama this morning. Ramajama, noted local diner. We had breakfast there with four-time national champion Josh Chapman, former teammate of mine. He is a fantastic soul, a fantastic presence, a large man who obviously eats well. We ate well, and while I was going to the bathroom on our way out, Gumpy came back, I just bought this. And I said, where? And he pointed at a tent that was in the parking lot. And he's got a merch store set up. He's got Dale Earnhardt representing on the gut. He's got Daytona 500 on the chest. And we're in for a great 48 hours here in lovely T-Town. AJ, thank you for traveling to Indianapolis. I know you're not alone over there. The toxic tables there at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Congrats to the Yankees, Dom.
There you go, Yankees. Happy for you, Ty.
Hey, thank you,
Good fan.
Thank you,
True fan. Way to go, Ty.
Gumpy is a Boston Red Sox fan, even though he grew up in Victoria, Canada. Went to about 10 of the games this year for the Boston Red Sox. I followed along his IG story as he sat on top of the Green Monster. He is a Red Sox fan. What did you keep saying, true fan, to Ty for? Because what was that? It felt like that was kind of a slight. It felt like you were taking a shot at somebody.
No, Ty just never gave up. He trusted his boys to get it done. He never quit on them.
Yeah, but who are you?
Never made excuses or anything like that.
I never once gave up.
Is that right?
I was saying I was talking about you.
I did.
You, Bruce?
I did, Gumpy. I said that you were talking about me. You don't have to do like the thinly veiled bullshit.
Whoa.
While I did speculate about Garrett Cole coming back and the Yankees getting Paul Skeens, there was never a doubt that the Red Sox were an inferior opponent. We just had to do our job.
There we go.
Schindler, boy, did he do his job. He's got eyes for it. I told you that pregame. I told Pat that pregame. I told Tony that pregame.
Yeah, he told. Bruce did tell me on the way out. He said, hey, just like Rodon had those eyes, I think is his name. He said, this kid's got the same eyes. This kid is ready for the moment, and he certainly was. And your Red Sox, you guys had a good.
Yep.
You guys had a good
no
year.
excuses.
Good year.
Good year.
Good year.
It was a good year, guys.
We were pretty banged up too, but good year.
No. It's a good young squad.
Hold
we'll
on,
be back.
Connor. What are you saying? You making excuses right now? Is that what it sounded like right there?
No, we lost already, so we don't have to make excuses. It's done. We are the losers. They are the winners. But you're telling me a guy with the name Tony in New York City wouldn't have helped the Boston Red Sox win?
He's right. You might be right.
He's right.
Valid. One half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys AP Tone and a fantastic cowboy hat. Gumpy's here because we got one thing left to do, and that's pick the entire NFL slate. We are undefeated going into the weekend. First time, long time for me and AJ. Obviously, Gumpy will be helping me out and the boys. Vikings, Browns, 9:30 a.m. coming to you live from London town on NFL Network. Vikings have ruled out these players for Sunday's game in London against the Browns. J.J. McCarthy, Donovan Jackson, Ryan Kelly, Brian O'Neill, Michael Jurgens, and Van Ginky. That's obviously a lot of players not suiting or booting in London after an international game last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers saw them lose. They're favored by 3.5. Taking on Cleveland. Gumpy, what is your first thoughts whenever you see that line?
I kind of fancy the Browns here. I like Judkins. He's been playing well. I like him to get it going. I like Dylan Gabriel, too.
AJ, what are your thoughts? Do you fancy the Browns like Gumpy, or do you think Kevin O'Connell over there is going to be able to cook something up? Last night, we saw a very decimated team with injuries come through and win in a big way. Feels like the NFL is, you're not supposed to do that. They end up doing that type of league. AJ, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, just like Gumpy, I think I fancy the Cleveland Browns here, especially since they're 3.5-point dogs. Yeah.
A 4.5 also just popped up.
I'll take 4.5. I do. Judkins,
Yeah.
Who knows what the turf's going to be like? I'm sure it'll be sloppy. They'll probably try to slow Myles Garrett in his rush down, but that helps. I think Judkins can still move around. Give me the Browns here, Pat.
I didn't even think about the shite turf in London.
That helps the O-lineman. You know that.
Shite. Hotspur Stadium will get it figured out.
Yeah, Spurs Stadium.
I don't know.
We'll have it ready.
I'm not sure.
I don't think they will, actually. I don't know. I don't know if anybody other than Ireland has ever really had it figured out. And Ireland even had a little couple slips. It's just a different grass, different game, different explosiveness. It's a different, experience for the athletes on the field. I'll stick with the Browns, though. I fancy the Browns as well. I think Dylan Gabriel does well, even though I think B-Flow is going to make it very difficult for him. We will certainly take 4.5 if we can. Houston Texans at the Baltimore Ravens. Everything about this is Lamar Jackson out, Cooper Kush in, but Lamar's not the only guy. Here's who the Ravens have not practicing on this feel-good fast Friday. Obviously, stars galore. Everybody on there is a name that we know, and it doesn't include Amabike. who's the D tackle who's been ruled out for the season, who's one of their Pro Bowlers and their stars. Ravens decimated. They have a tall task. Tone, what is the thoughts? What is the percentage of money in this particular game?
So it's you can get a -1.5 for the Texans to a +2.5 for the Ravens if you're interested. The money is actually 73% on the Ravens, so they still think the Ravens can do it against a Texans offense that has been shite so far this season.
Ty, it sounds like you think that's tasty. Is that what I heard over there?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. You know, hey, listen, we've seen what Cooper Kush can do in the past. Methinks I might be riding with the public on this one.
Connor, do you have any say?
No, I think Cooper Kush. I think Ty nailed it. I think Cooper Kush he's got the juice. I believe. I don't know if he beat the Texans or he played the Texans already when he was with Dallas, but it does feel as though Cooper Kush might get the job done, and maybe Derrick Henry finally says, "I'm gonna hold on to the ball." Okay.
AJ, did you see the C.J. Stroud quote? Was that AI?
I think it was real.
Yeah.
What did he say?
I think it may have been real.
He doesn't feel as athletic as he was when he was younger. Even though he's 23 or whatever.
Said he's getting old, man.
He's throwing him off the set. You know, of course, classic move. Throw him off, make him think that you're lost, like you're washed already.
Man, I'm getting old. I'm not as quick as I once was. It's like, bro, you're 23. What
Excuse me?
You're going to be getting faster. Whoa. You're going to be getting faster, actually. You're about to hit your prime at like 28. Your body actually I feel like I'm getting old. I'm not as quick as I used to be. He's only going to get quicker, we think.
Yeah.
Right?
Not playing behind that O-line. That O-line's been shite for 2 years now.
They have been shite. Why didn't they fix in that? What's Caserio doing?
Traded Tunsil away.
Hey, Paisan, protect this guy. Jeez Louise. On that note, I will take...
Bless you.
Bless you.
I don't know how many people are sneezing in this tunnel, so I'm 2 weeks old.
First one.
That might be the first one. Roll Tide.
Roll
Well, I don't
Tide.
think you say bless you. I think you got that wrong. Hachu. Roll Tide, of course. I'll take... I'll take the Texans. Plus, what can I get them?
1.5, -1.5 for the Texans, +2.5 for the Ravens.
I'll take the Texans -1.5. Raiders at Colts. I'm taking the Colts. Thanks. Welcome to the Loud House. It's a problem. AJ, you are as well, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think I gave a pick previously. I'm taking the Texans at -1.5 on that game. But hey, I am a believer in the Colts. Give me the Colts here. What is it? 6.5 point faves.
I like that. Gumpy, you like the Colts? We're going to be in there.
Yeah, also favorite bet of the weekend. Geno Smith to throw an interception is -130. He's doing it in every game.
He does. He gets a little loose with it.
-130 is way too short.
Yeah, but the Chicago picks were great plays. I mean, like Geno, the Chicago Bears defense was gobble, gobble, gobble like Pac-Man on his throws, doing his thing. Broncos, Eagles favored by 3.5 at home. Toxic table. Anything we should think about there?
Not really. I think this is kind of a run-of-the-mill. I think both teams are fairly healthy. We'll see. The Denver defense obviously has been very, very stout early, so kind of good on good here.
Yeah, Denver might have figured it out on offense, too. Like, they're kind of clicking. Yeah. Sutton, Franklin's going. Mims was going last game.
Dobbins.
Dobbins is going. Their tight end, Trotman. Ingram, I'm not sure if he's banged up or not, actually, because I think he did. Yeah, he is a little bit, so I don't know if he's playing. But, yeah, Broncos might be figured out right now.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the Eagles, -3.5.
Yep.
AJ, I didn't hear anything you said, by the way. We lost you guys for most of your take.
Good.
Most of your take. We lost you.
Eagles. Stick to the Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles should be good in this one.
Yeah, I honestly, let's just try to build up the Broncos. Take the Eagles.
Hold on. So I completely countered your entire... we didn't hear a thing over here. It completely froze up. We didn't even know if we're... You built up the Broncos that whole time?
No. We both were just like, the defense sucks. Offense, they're just not there yet. And the Eagles are rolling. So it wouldn't make sense to take the Broncos.
Pat, I heard it. I'm actually taking the Broncos here in this one. But I did hear the...
Wait, I like to be swayed. I like to hear what people
Broncos,
say.
you can get it +4.5 as well.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. Fangio revenge game against the Broncos. He's going to lock Bo Nix the fuck down. Good call.
I didn't hear any of this pro-Broncos stuff you said, but I did just hear a couple pro-Eagles things. I'll take the Eagles -3.5. Dallas Cowboys, New York Jets. Cowboys favored by 2.5 in MetLife. This feels too easy. Tone, what is the percentage on this?
So you could get the Cowboys -0.5. You could get the Jets +2.5. And the percentage on this one is
What am I missing?
The
Yeah, me
Cowboys.
too.
Cowboys 66% are on the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Minus
me too.
a half.
I'll take the Cowboys.
Last time Cowboys went on the road, everyone thought they were going to beat the Bears, and they got shite kicked.
Maybe it's just the Cowboys' run defense is kind of shite.
Or defense in general.
Yeah, or defense in
Braylon
general.
Allen out, so they just got Brees Hall now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bruce just put up on the monitor.
Yeah, that's probably.
He said this is potentially what people were talking about.
While Justin Fields can't really sling it. So.
Yeah, but
Whoa.
they
I'm
don't.
just
They don't
saying.
choose to. They don't. They had 2 pass attempts in the first 2 quarters.
I mean, if can they run it for?
Aaron
80
Glenn's
clip
looking for his
against
first
Cowboys,
win too as a coach. You know, it's going to be a whole game ball situation if he finds a way to get a win.
I'll take the Jets. I'm taking the Jets just because this is stinky. This is super stinky. I have no idea what. Well, I'll take the Jets plus. I can get them. I can get 5 points. Is that what you said?
2.5.
I can get the Cowboys at minus
1.5.
Oh, give me the Cowboys. I mean, come on now. Dak is seeing the field. We know that. Give me Cowboys.
All right, I got the Jets plus 2. What a.
That's ugly.
Do it.
How's that even come out of my mouth? How it's hard to.
I mean,
even get
honestly,
those
we have
words.
no clue. The NFL, like, we don't know. The coaches don't know. Like, it is wild.
The Jets, in the Jets' defense, if they didn't turn the ball over,
If
If they didn't fumble 3 times and have 40 penalties, they probably win that game.
Dolphins defense did play great though.
Okay, I'll take the Jets plus 2.5.
Okay.
What a terrible. That's disgusting.
Never know.
Let's go, Jets. Let's go, boys. Jets. Jets. Yeah, bingo. We're all rolling Tide down there. All right, good luck, Jets. New York Giants, New Orleans Saints. Saints favored by 2.5. All right, I'll take the Giants. What's
You
going
want to talk about stinky lines? This
What's
is about
going
as
on?
stinky as it gets.
Who do you like? You like the Saints in this?
I love the Giants, but it reeks.
It does. This is the little Dan Orlovsky explaining a bad take right now. Tone, what's going on with this particular line? Because I saw a video from the New York Giants social media team. Feels like the boys are very tight over there. They were all reenacting who Scadaboo is, doing an impression of Scadaboo. And I guess he just shakes his head and yells. I guess that's like who he is. He's a rookie. He's beloved. Jackson Dart obviously does his thing. It wasn't the prettiest game, I guess, for his debut. But Bruce, why are the Saints favored by 2.5? Just strictly because they don't think old Jackson and Scadaboo can handle the South? Is that what's happening?
I think there are some better lines out there for, if you were to take the Saints than laying the full 2.5. But it is trappy. Vibes are a little too high. Jackson Dart, MVP. Everybody loves Cam Scadaboo. I'm a little bit worried going in, but hey, Jackson Dart 1-0. The Rattlesnake 0-10. What are we talking about? Jackson Dart to score a touchdown plus 210 in the Giants' money line.
Connor, this is stinky.
Yeah, it is very stinky. I think we should listen to Bob Sala here. He said Rattler's going to be a household name now. Okay, and also the Saints weren't that bad in Buffalo. It wasn't that ugly.
They've only had one real bad game this year.
Exactly.
It wasn't really till the worst Philly of all time they were cooked. in that
Bingo.
game.
All right, I'll take the Saints minus 2.5. AJ, who are you taking?
You can get a minus 1.5 if you want the Saints.
All right, sweet. I don't know why.
What a bore.
This just doesn't make sense. To me, to my brain, I just go, Giants, good vibes. They're going to win this game. And then it's like, well, what are the sports books? Why are they doing that? Why are
this
they?
This is probably the only game the Saints have a chance to win, I would say, this year. So maybe that's why the line's so weird.
All right, give me Kelly Moe getting a first big dub, minus 1.5. AJ, who you got?
I'm with the Giants. Plus 2.5, Tone?
Yeah.
Okay, Giants.
Why am I doing this, though? I should just pick
I
who
love
think.
Spencer. I'm legit a Spencer Rattler fan. I have been for a while. So I wouldn't be shocked if the Saints win the game.
But they don't have Fofo and 6 in the trap. What up, Big Blue?
Big Blue.
I don't like this one, man. I don't feel good about any of these, and I don't like what I did last week, and I don't like any of these. Dolphins and Panthers. Dolphins favored. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we?
88% of the money's on Panthers.
Do you?
I'll take the Panthers on
The
this one, fellas.
Dolphins.
Give me the
What?
Panthers. Bounce back for the Panthers. Here we go.
Oh, we lost you again.
You're frozen a
If you
little
can hear
bit.
us, we
Oh.
can't.
Yeah, you're frozen.
We can
a
hear
bit
you,
now.
I'm
though.
sure you're
We
getting
can
a
hear
great
you.
take and a lot of
We
good
can hear
opinions.
you.
You hear us.
We hear you.
We can hear you.
Word you're saying. Neither can Gumby.
Okay, so you can't
You
hear
can-
us, but we can
They
hear
said
you.
they can hear us, but they can't see us. We're frozen.
And
So
now
I'm gonna hold up a C. I'm taking Carolina. That's for the Carolina Panthers, Pat.
And now we can't see
Now we can't
or
see
hear
anything.
them.
Yeah, it might be a
looks
leave.
like we're gonna end. And Tommy
What do you
said 88%. I didn't see that number. I saw.
He said 88% is on the Carolina
I
Panthers.
saw 51% on the Carolina Panthers.
What do you think happens, Tom?
I'm not going to watch this game. I'm not going to bet on this game.
Respectfully,
Why are you
sure.
only bringing it up when he can't hear you?
Yeah.
He knows that.
Have
I
some
said,
respect.
I said
It's
it
the
to him.
Dolphins.
I said it to him yesterday.
I don't know if he Gump. Can you hear us now? You guys back?
We can hear you.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
you're
Can you
good.
hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are good.
Gumpy said AJ has never once picked the Dolphins since the beginning
Yeah,
of
I
us
have.
doing that.
Yeah, I have.
Well, while you guys were gone, he took Carolina. So
Yeah, I heard that part. That's why I said it.
You know what? You know what? Pizza and sandwiches for concussions. Give me the Carolina Panthers.
We're both on the Panthers.
Darren Waller plus 250 to get in the paint. He's going to play more. He'll
That's a good one. I agree.
Yeah.
I forgot about top play. I fucking love Darren Waller.
He's good, man.
He's good.
I'm so happy for him. They said Eric Waddle's mic'd up, I guess, in a
HM was mic'd up when they did the touchdown, and Waddle just goes, "You're just like a big bear," and he's just like, "You're massive."
He's so big.
It was awesome.
Guy didn't
dude.
play football for 2 years. They put him in like must-have-it situations. He has 2 touchdowns, and he's on the damn hand stick. Can we make this big so we can see the graphics on there?
Next one's Titans.
There it is. Oh.
No, it's this. The Zoom screen is. Yeah, if we could just.
There
Thank
you
you,
go.
thank you. Okay, so the Titans and the Cardinals. Cardinals favored by 7.5 at home.
So many
Man.
points.
Dude.
This stinks.
It's a tough slate.
This
Yeah.
slate
It's a tough
stinks.
board.
It truly is.
It does.
It's a
It
tough
really
board.
does.
It truly
no, guys, never know.
There's gonna be some good ball games, but it's a tough slate.
I'm taking
to
the
bet.
Cardinals.
It's a
Yeah.
tough board.
I'm taking the Cardinals on this one.
Because AQ Shipley's on the call? Oh,
That's
I'm
part of
flipping
it. That
this
is
thing.
part. I think they're going to feel his positive vibes. Yeah.
All right, I'm flipping this thing. This side is Cardinals up. The whole side is Titans on the bet. All right, I'll take the Titans.
Plus,
I don't
you can
like
get the
that.
Titans
Well
plus
done.
8.5.
Oh, 8.5.
Give me the
There it
Titans
is.
plus 8.5. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 4.5 at home. Obviously, we're all wondering if the home field advantage will continue for the Seattle Seahawks. Adam Schefter has reported that the Buccaneers have officially ruled out running back Bucky Irving for Sunday's game at Seattle due to his sprained foot. Mike Evans, Benjamin Morrison, Dean, and Christian also ruled out for Sunday for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. AJ, does that sway you one way or the other, brother?
That does sway me a bit. I was somewhat leaning Seahawks. Now I'm stamping it. Give me the Seahawks here.
You can get the Seahawks -3.
I love it. Seahawks -3.
Ooh.
Yeah, give me Seahawks.
Wow.
What do you think?
I like the Bucs getting 4.5.
It's hard because I'm torn. I love Baker.
Yeah.
I love Sam Darnold as well. I'm big fan.
I think it's just going to be tight. For whatever reason, McDonald's way better on the road than he is at home. Ibuka scores every game, and I think Chris Godwin gets in the paint here too.
Okay.
Second game back.
How? Connor.
Yeah.
Gut instinct. Who are you going with?
Last year, I lost a fantasy football playoff game because I did not start Baker because they were playing the Chargers, and I thought, oh, this is a long flight. They're going to suck. They kicked the shit out of the Chargers. So, I mean, everything in me tells me to take Seattle, but it feels like Tampa.
And I can get, what, 4.5, you said?
Yeah.
5.5, maybe?
I'm not seeing one right now.
Maybe on
It might
Gumpy's,
get to
maybe
5
Gumpy's
by
site.
Sunday.
Might get there.
It might get to 5 by
I don't know.
Sunday.
71% on Tampa, so I don't know if it's going to move anymore.
Not as much as 88
geez.
on Carolina, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, I'll take the Seahawks then with what the sports books. I wanted to take the Bucks, which they still might win this thing, but I guess I'll do -3 for the Seahawks. Washington, Los Angeles Chargers, 3.5. Both of these teams have to truly stamp and figure out who they are. Jaden Daniels, is he playing?
Yes.
Justin Herbert. Any other injuries for Chargers?
Joe Alt
Alt.
still out.
Yeah.
They've had some line injuries. I don't know of any on the defense. But so you know, you get Chargers -2.5, and you get Commanders +3.5.
Okay. Who you got, AJ?
Dang, we got Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown both aren't even traveling to LA.
Yeah.
You know what? Give me the Washington Commanders. I'll take them. What do I get them at? Tell me.
+3.5.
+3.5. Okay.
I'll take the Chargers minus 3.5. Lions favored by 10.5 against the Bengals in the jungle. AJ, Cincinnati fans are getting smacked in the mouth right now. No home field advantage because, that's 3-4 points. That's 2 touchdowns what the Lions actually favored by going into Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Bengals have looked a lot like ass as football team. Obviously, Joe Burrow gets hurt. Jake Browning is their QB. Zach Taylor hasn't really made a lot of things happen for them, and they are a tough watch. They're still on Thanksgiving night, from what I've been told, Ty. Is that accurate?
That is correct. We are actively trying to get them to change that as we speak. We'll see what happens. Do we know who the ruler of the jungle is for this game?
That's a good question.
Good question. AJ? Is it AJ?
It should be. If it's Pac-Man Jones, I'm taking the Bengals. You think Pac-Man?
If it was Pac-Man Jones, I would take the Bengals as well. Just so we are clear, I would take it. Can we Google that?
Holy shit! It's a comedian in Cincinnati, Gary Owen.
I love Gary. I enjoy the hell out of Gary. Thank you for your service too, Gary. Obviously, former military man. Gary's awesome. I don't think this should be the game he said yes to. I fucking love Gary.
David Montgomery homecoming game for what it's worth. And then last year, the Lions against absolute shite teams, 52-14 against the Titans, 52-6 against the Jags. They both had their backups in that game as well. So we don't really mess around with backup quarterbacks.
No, you do not.
Yeah. Hey, G, you need to somehow get out of being a ruler this weekend. You don't need that on your record. I'll take the Lions minus 10.5. AJ?
Lions minus 10.5.
Oh, no! 10.5.
What? I don't love it. What do you want me to
Person to put him. I don't love what I'm doing.
What do you want me to do, bro? Then Sunday Night Football, because we've gotten into the bye week era of this particular NFL season. Early buys for Steelers and Green Bay, especially that Steelers team. Older team. Long road here into the playoffs. If they want to make a run, that's going to be a very long one. And then the Bears come off their best week. They have a bye. Will they be able to continue? The Falcons, obviously, they were on in the trenches, I think, their offensive line. So maybe they're finding it. And then Jordan Love, obviously fresh out of a tie, getting a chance to go ahead and sleep on that for an entire week. Patriots, Bills, historically great games. Right, Connor, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, for the most part, they have been very good. Even when Mac Jones and the Pats were struggling, they still gave the Bills problems.
And, Josh Allen is wearing the Super Snow game.
Yep. Yeah, he's got his NFL rivalry Blizzard jersey on.
And we would like to tell the NFL we like their rivalry jerseys. We appreciate, we like this genre of throwbacks. We think they did a great job. From 9:30 a.m. on NFL Network, we're going to have NFL football all the way through Josh Allen in some sick snow tarps taking on New England on Sunday Night Football. There's been a lot of chatter about not a lot of notable games. It's going to start great, it's going to end great, and it's going to be Buffalo Bills winning by less than 8.5 points. Give me the New England Patriots and Drake May doing his thing on the biggest stage of the day. Now, Connor, there's been a lot of graphics you've been posting. Have you been leaving graphics out that I haven't seen about Drake May? Everything is up and to the right for this guy.
Yeah, actually, I haven't been leaving graphics out. That was just one that I picked. Most graphics that he's on, he's in that, Q1 top right. It is wild. I don't know how it happened, but Drake May is unbelievable. I think the fodder around the Patriots is a little too hot right now. Feels as though this might be a comeback to earth game, but also hey, we are not in the Bills, category just yet, but if they keep it close, a competitive game, maybe Diggs scores a touchdown, we get a cool little side eye to Josh Allen like we did last year when Diggs was in Houston. I don't know. I think it's going to be close, but yeah, it feels as though the Bills will still get it done. They just always find a way.
Ty, Drake May better than Jordan Love already? Is that what people are saying?
I mean, right now some of the stats bear that out. But, Drake May still, we got to see him do it in the playoffs. Jordan Love, people forget, does have a playoff win under his belt. On the road, no less. So, but listen, Drake May's a ball player. He's another one of those guys. Every Sunday, it seems like he does 3 to 4 things where it's just like, holy shit, I didn't know this guy could do that. Yeah. He's been great so far.
Who do you like, Gumps?
I love the Patriots. Stephon Diggs, first time back in Buffalo since he was traded as well.
Yes. I love that. Is 8.5 the most I can get with the Patriots?
Yes, it is.
AJ, are you riding with us? What's your reasoning?
Yeah, I think the Bills are going to the Super Bowl, but I'm taking New England here to cover. So, yeah, give me the Patriots.
Bills have been like the Chiefs from yesteryear, not covering but winning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've been losing money on this Buffalo Bills thing. The sports books know that we all love the Buffalo Bills. Sports books know that we all love Josh Allen. Last week couldn't cover. 2 weeks ago didn't cover. Well, this week, will they be able to cover? I don't think so. I think they win, though. Like, we all think they win, but we don't think they cover.
They still can't stop the run. Travion Henderson played more last game, too.
Yeah.
But there's also a chance that the Buffalo Bills win by 50.
I don't know. I don't know if a Vrabel team
It was
has
ugly
that.
against the Saints.
Yeah.
You don't think Vrabel? You don't think Vrabel?
Yeah, I just feel like Vrabel's going to have him ready to go. Like, if you do look at those graphs that mean nothing, but still people post and act like they do, our D-line's very good. Like, they do get pressure. They get home. It feels as though, like, an 8.5, to your point, the sports books know everyone loves the Bills and they're so good. I mean, the Patriots just scored 42 points and Drake May didn't play in the fourth quarter. Like, 8.5 points doesn't make sense if you're looking at last week's games. But if you're just looking at a game like a mark, you might just say, hey, the Bills are the Bills. They're going to win by 2 touchdowns. But they'll probably end up winning by like a touchdown or a field goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time again.
I might be screwed by the wall.
Take a knee, go.
Yep, there it is.
Well,
No.
Little hard.
There we go.
Yes.
No,
Boom.
don't move. I'll move.
He wears gloves like that at home.
Ladies and gentlemen, the thing about DoorDash is anything you want, you can have delivered to your house. Like if you want this beautiful piece of pizza that Gumpy's holding in his glove, it can be brought to your house by our friends at DoorDash. They've really changed the entire world with their innovation and their ability and their convenience. And you can save up to $250 this season whenever you order on game day. It includes $100 in DoorDash credits, so obviously terms and exclusions apply. You can go ahead and scan this QR code and get with the DoorDash program. DoorDash, your tag team partner for a better life. Thank you, Gunch, for bringing that pizza back. That was really nice of you.
Hell yeah.
How those 215 tours going, Pat?
We talked about on that note, it is, the guy isn't the coach here anymore, but it is nice that we're friends with him. We probably overstayed our welcome here. And on that note, big shout out to everybody here at Alabama for allowing us to be a part of this. Big shout out to the entire ESPN production crew that put this together in a tunnel. We're very, very thankful, very, very grateful. It has been a wonderful time thus far here in T-Town. We will try to continue to enjoy our day. Going to eat all the food we can at Saban's house tonight.
Yes.
Roll Tide.
Please.
We're going to roll Tide. We're going to try to roll Tide the shit out of that house.
Jack and Dyer, too.
Take a nap. Take a nap in the guest room if you need to.
Yeah.
Little ditty about Jack and Diet Coke. Yeah.
That guy sucks growing up in the hot lane.
Whoa. Yeah,
my bad. I didn't mean that. That was outside. That was inside voice came outside. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry.
Now, on that note, that guy could have easily just came out on my side when the rest of the world was attacking me, but instead he decided to take the other team's side. So it will be fuck that guy forever.
Yeah,
but he does have great songs. Let's not get that.
No doubt about that.
He does have a few ditties. AJ, we appreciate the hell out of you, buddy. Honestly, thank you for traveling out there. Toxic Table, great work this week. Tone, incredible job. Behind the glass, I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Good work, Foxy.
Oh, yeah, boys.
Good work, Bruce.
Good week.
Good boys.
Nick, Bill, Dirty. Talk, obviously. Big week for Talk, Bill, Dirty, Foxy. Launch Rushmore this week.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Go, boys.
Hell yeah, boys.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations on that, boys. Mitt, keep kicking ass, brother. There's about to be a time where Mitt's about to shine in a big way.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Just know Mitt season's right around the corner. If we can get him to it. And he doesn't, stumble getting there.
Sure. Yep. There it is.
That boy's fucking good, dude. He's my talk.
Get in the line, dude.
It's about time now, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Bro, I'm fucking scared,
Fucking God, dude.
Great work out of D-Bone, obviously, this week. D-Bone had a huge week. I appreciate him allowing me the opportunity to showcase how many shoes I have at the Thunderdome. I don't know if you saw the lineup there, AJ.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's like 64 or 65 of them. Honestly, I have no idea how those all fit in my office, as I was pulling those out. I was really surprised about how they all fit in the room that I call my office, which wasn't originally supposed to be my office. It's supposed to be like a little off the kitchen type thing. But obviously, you got the Halleys up there. You got a lot of Brauns. You got some Travis Scotts. You got some Jordans, obviously. It is quite a collection, I would say. And I'm very thankful for all the people that have sent me shoes. And obviously, John Geiger's shoes right there. He's writing me a letter, I think, if he was to continue to go down. And boom, that one right down there at the bottom.
I'm stuck here.
So, yeah, I understand. It's hard to get done sometimes. John Deere Jordan's right there, fourth one down. So it was nice to kind of see how many shoes I had, what I had going on, and it's all because of Debo. So we should be thanking Debo.
Attaboy Bone.
Attaboy Bone.
He made a graphic with me and put monarchs on my feet. And it was a sponsored graphic. It was a sponsored graphic. And I got nothing. I got nothing against monarchs. People that wear monarchs, more power to you. I like it. But I am a guy that enjoys shoes. Like, my feet are a pretty big part of my life. And now, granted, people have been saying, Pat, you put TFPs on your feet. It's like, well, around the house, maybe you put those TFPs on. But I love a nice pair of shoes. So I thought it was egregious what D-Bone did to me. So I just felt an obligation to showcase to him, like, hey, these are all the fucking shoes you could have put on me. These are all the things. And to D-Bone's credit, football guy, offensive lineman, duck, dodge, weave his way through, and we're on the other side. So we appreciate D-Bone for that. And he stuck up for Cena to Cody.
Hell yeah. He did. Hell yeah.
That was impressive.
So it was a huge week for D-Bone, I think. Huge week for the program. And the September numbers have come out for us on social, digital. I guess that's kind of the same, but I guess there is Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, which doesn't count as social, even though we all kind of put it together. And our linear numbers. We are so incredibly lucky.
Wow.
So that's a big number.
Damn.
That's a big number. That's everything. That's ESPN Plus. That's Disney Plus. That's TikTok. That's YouTube. That's X. That's Instagram. And obviously that's linear numbers as well. We have no idea why anybody chooses to watch this shit. And maybe some people are hate watching it. But we appreciate you all so much. And hopefully October will only get better. You're the greatest people on earth for allowing us to do this for a living. We are eternally grateful. We also have a podcast, a college football podcast with Stanford Steve. Episode 3. Episode 3 is about to debut as we get the hell out of everybody's way here. We hope you have the greatest weekend of your entire life. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. local. We'll be live here in Alabama. Nick Saban will be getting celebrated. Vandy's in the national spotlight. And a weekend of football is going to kick off in spectacular fashion. You're the greatest people on earth. Never, ever forget it. We appreciate you. It's been the dumbest life of all time. And the fact that you all allow us to do that is incredibly kind. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. AJ, anything?
What's Bruce and AQ say? Have a better one next week.
I mean, plagiarism is certainly a cool thing.
No, it's a flattery, you know. Also, Gump, don't if you're taking a dump in Saban's house, he'll kick the door down on you. So.
It's true.
Don't do it.
Don't do a Jim Irsay dump in Josh McCown.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That might be a problem.
All right. Have a great weekend, boys. We miss you. We'll see you soon. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another college football convo with that man, Stanford Steve. Talks the tables here at Boss Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, and college football author AP Tone is here. 9-year NFL vet, UConn Husky legend Darius J. Butler is here. And we have a packed weekend of college ball, Stanford Steve. We can't wait to hear all about it. Game days heading down to Nicky Saban's town. What are your thoughts?
Young Nicky. We're headed down to Tuscaloosa, fired up. The rematch, undefeated. Vanderbilt, they're the undefeated team in this game. Still averaging 49 points a game. That's 4th in the country. Bama fresh off that great win at Georgia. It comes down to Bama's defense. Can they slow down Diego Pavia and that high-powered offense that's been – they look better than they did last year, and that's what I think has Alabama's full attention, Pat.
Yeah, and I think game day going there helps, and obviously Vanderbilt from what they were – a year ago, to what they are now is a different story. I think everybody just understands that Diego's brought a wagon down there to beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. How many more years will Diego be able to play? The people at Vandy are saying hopefully forever, and hopefully they're able to live in this. And you talked about being able to stop the run down there in Alabama. I had some tape last week on game day against Florida State. There was just no discipline. There was no leverage. There was no nothing. They've looked vastly different the last few weeks, and it does feel like because what happened last year with Vandy, because game day's going, because the entire world understands who Diego is, Kalen Bohr and the boys got no excuses to overlook this Vandy team.
Yes, you are 100% correct. Vandy's total for the total for the year on wins was 4.5, so they've already done that this year. I think their defense is a little more salty than it has been in the past, so they're better there. But you talk about the Alabama run defense, and you did it last week. Then they went and gave up 227 on the ground to Georgia, so not exactly fixed last week. And
on the road.
Yes, and Steve talked about them being Vandy being the number 4 scoring offense. They're also the number 4 rushing offense in yards per rush. Bama's ranked 90th in rush defense, so it's can they stop the run in this game? Bama and Pavi is their leading rusher, so he's their leading passer, he's their leading rusher. He is that offense.
They want Bama. They want Bama. They're about to get them, D-Butt. And, you know, they have a squad that's confident. Quarterback, obviously, that has seen the highs now of college football. Yeah. They're riding in there, I assume, ready to upset the entire world. You have to love that positioning as a coach, I assume, down there at Vandy.
Absolutely. Obviously, coming in as an underdog, big underdog here, going into a hostile environment. But you aren't sneaking up on anybody, especially not Bama. So I see that 10.5 number. How do you feel about that number for Bama at home? That's what I want to know.
Clark Lee. Clark Lee.
I liked it a lot more when it was 14. It opened at 14, D-Butt, so you can tell how many people Vandy has been a cover machine the last 2 years. As an underdog, I believe this is double digits, maybe close to 30 straight conference games. They've been an underdog. So I still think the way they play offense is really, they stretch you sideline to sideline. The quarterback run is obviously a factor. They got some speed with some transfer guys. The running back's the most underrated player in the conference, Alexander. So I look at last year Bama just got big plays and then Vandy held the ball. Then Milroe turned it over. It was a perfect storm for pulling off that upset when you score 40 points. The issue is Vandy's defense for me on the road. They played at Virginia Tech, but we see what they've become. They won when they knocked Sellers out at South Carolina. The Vandy defense is going to be put to the test in this game. I like the over, and if I had to pick a side, I would lean towards taking the points because of that offense and how dynamic Vandy is. Tim Smith, D tackle for Bama, targeting in the second half against Georgia. Bama's already light on the D line against the run. I think that Vandy run game gives Bama trouble all day.
There's a lot of rules that I think we should tweak a little bit.
Sure.
There's a lot of rules that I think we should tweak a little bit. I appreciate we're trying to make the game safer and yada, 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 but there's some things we need. I don't like us having to lose a guy for a half a game.
No.
If you already lost a half a game, that feels like a lot. If it was in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, let's go ahead and give it to them. But already losing second half of a game, that feels like that's enough.
Huge.
That's a lot of football, especially with the way these college games go. Everything is down to 1 quarter of explosion for one way or the other, and that could certainly happen for Vandy early. Let's talk about Alabama's offense. Ty Simpson, I saw him giving a speech. He sounded like Nick Saban. This guy sounded like he was awesome. Nick Saban talking, and I think the tweet that I saw was like, Ty Simpson's the last one that Saban has in that building, and you can hear it whenever he's speaking. And Grubb's giving a rock to Proctor. Obviously, Ryan Williams is doing things that maybe we thought he wasn't going to be able to do again after he had his big debut. It's like this Alabama offense has found their way too, Steve.
Yeah, Horton, the transfer you just saw catching a touchdown one from Miami, has really been a factor when he's healthy. He got knocked out of the Florida State game, and you could see Ty Simpson struggling a little bit. But that offense is all. Jam Miller's back. The offensive line figured some things out. Just basic, not getting beat inside on pass pro, which has been an issue. And I still think there's a lot more from that guy, Ryan Williams. They documented his drops. He's had touchdown throws, one against Wisconsin, one against Florida State, and then obviously the long one last week. He's got to get locked in, but Jeremy Bernard has been the guy for that offense. The most dependable player. They talk about his leadership. He doesn't say much. He just goes out and balls out. They had him throwing a couple passes last week, getting reverses. Bernard's been the guy for Ty Simpson in that offense. And also the tight ends, Cuevas and Edwards, have real – I didn't know what they were going to get from that position, and they've done a good job of using H-back and motion in their run game. Those guys, I didn't know what to expect from them this year, but this offense is real, and Vandy has their hands full for sure.
We were down there for a game, I don't know if it was last year, 2 years ago. They do really well with the environment.
Great.
They got a great stadium MC. They got good music.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what is the...
Roll Tide. Fuck Auburn. Tennessee 2.
I think you missed that. LSU.
I did.
Every school I've learned uses LSU right before the and somebody else too. You know, that is because that's just naturally easy down there. They got a great environment down there, man. That stadium is electrifying, and it feels like a much better time to be an Alabama fan or an Alabama coach right now than it was 4 weeks ago. I'll tell you what, Vandy comes in there, Diego starts dancing all over the land. It would get loud, even though Vandy is no longer just some silent, sneaky sleeper coming into town. All right, what's the next game we need to chit-chat about, Stanford Steve?
Rivalry. Florida State, fresh off that loss.
Yikes.
Going to, or I should say, hosting Miami. Miami off a bye. Castellanos first in the country in yards per game. That's 600. Obviously led the comeback last week. The bobble in the end zone hurts, and they lose at Virginia. This game comes down to Miami's secondary. D-Butt, we've talked about your boys down in Coral Gables a bunch. That secondary hasn't been tested since maybe the second half of the Notre Dame game. And with Deuce Robinson, I get the bobble in the end zone, but 9 catches for almost 200 yards last week. Castellanos has his guy. It's going to be about what Miami's secondary looks like on the road in this environment in a gettable game for Florida State with that offense. Miami's defense has to show out and prove they're the best in the country.
What did he leave out there, Tone?
He talked about the secondary. I want to talk about the Miami defensive line because Florida State's running for 330 a game, and Malzahn has had a lot of success in the past, going against Bama in these big physical defenses. So you got Bain on one side, you got Mesidor on the other, and that Miami defensive line, like how does that defensive line do against that Malzahn offense that's running for 330 a game? Miami might be the best trenches team in the country, especially on defense. So can they stop the run and force Castellanos to throw against that Miami secondary? Because he's an athlete, but is he the most polished passer in the world? Maybe not. So I want to see if they can run the ball against that Miami defense.
Okay, and on the Miami DBs, what do you see from them down there? Obviously coming off a bye week, so they got another week to get things right before going into Florida State. Wish game day would have went down there. Okay, that would have been a cool experience to see Florida State and Miami. On that note, you lose to Virginia. I don't know.
Gotta win. Do it.
That's a tough thing for the people. Once again, me and Steve do not make these decisions. Okay, these decisions are above our heads. And on that note, I think they were like, if we just go to it, and then I would say, why didn't we go to Backyard Brawl? West Virginia lost to Ohio, and Backyard Brawl that would have been maybe the only Big 12 home all year that we could have went to. And they immediately told me, just like everybody did, well, they just lost to Ohio. It's like, valid. Okay, then we just keep it moving forward. Yeah. And it's like, in this case, it was the same exact thing. It was set up to be Florida State, Miami again.
Perfect. Two top 10 teams.
But I do think this is going to continue now with what Cristobal's building, with Norvell, if he's able to continue to hit on the transfer portal. I think Florida State, Miami is back for the long haul.
Yeah.
But the DBs down there in Miami, and how about Florida State as well? Do you know?
That would be my question. I got more questions about Florida State DBs, but the Miami DBs, you just got to finish and make plays, especially when you have, I always talk about how the best friend of the secondary is that pass rush. So, and then when you have a quarterback like Castellanos who's always on the move, you can be in a perfect position. He can extend plays and make plays with his legs or his arm. But what about that Florida State defense? Couldn't stop a nosebleed against Virginia, and you'll have more weapons with this Miami offense. What's your thoughts on them and why are they struggling?
Yeah, that was pretty eye-opening, D-Butt. Like, when you watch it, it's like, all right, it was a roller coaster. I still give Castellanos a ton of credit. I mean, they came out and turned the ball over twice, and on the road in a night game, Virginia's biggest game of the year. That thing swirled fast. So Castellanos got it back on track. But I just thought at some point Florida State would buckle down and get stops, and Virginia did a great job. Their running backs are really good, and that's what was in space. Florida State could not tackle in space. And now you got Carson Beck coming in with that group of receivers and running backs. That's a lot of pressure. You got to expect Florida State's going to be, up for this game with all that's on the line, the rivalry, and how bad you looked. You made the move to White as the DC last year, and he was great against Alabama. But this is a whole different animal. Knowing what's at stake in this game, I expect Florida State's defense to be a lot better.
Let's talk about this guy a little bit. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, Steve, I got to be honest. I got to apologize to Carson Beck first because I thought he was a little bit of a slapdick since Kirby Smart didn't want him anymore. I was wrong. This kid's unbelievable. Is Carson Beck the number one pick this year, in your opinion? Tony, you too, you're an AP voter. You also matter.
NFL AP, not a college
excuse me.
NFL draft?
I assume those NFL AP voters, they got their eyes on that next generation.
Well, for sure, but we just don't want anybody to think that he is a college AP voter.
No,
Not in the rankings.
Because they take a lot of heat.
Well, not only some of the heat, not only a lot of heat. Some of them just say, it's fun. I don't even watch the game.
Yeah, didn't love that.
So that is college. You're in the NFL.
Yeah.
Where everybody takes it super serious.
Yeah, you
Why didn't Miami drop a spot?
Well, that's a Tone.
AP.
Tone.
I'm not an expert in that area.
All right. Anyways, go ahead. Back to.
But what do you think about that, Steven? Tony does take the AP NFL very seriously. The college thing. Hey, if you have a vote in something. There's a chance, especially now with NIL contracts.
I would do it.
But yeah, give it to Tony. Because what if there's an NIL contract, eh? You get $500,000 more if you're an All-American.
And also, we care.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it matters.
Yeah,
all
big
this
time.
matters.
But,
Coaches, it matters.
Yeah.
Legacies, dynasties, they matter. We don't love that people's opinions that aren't in the game are the ones that are depending upon some things or whatever, or creating some things. But it is the world we live in.
If I see 4 times All-American, I think they're better than the 2-time All-American.
That's right.
Boom. But now I think it's bullshit.
Well, it's not just that one, too. I want to let you know his particular crew, the AP, hasn't always been right either. Let's make sure. There's a lot of gripes with them as well.
I will say this, and it's unfortunate, but if you don't think the committee looks at those AP rankings at the end of the season and takes it into fact, like that's a real thing.
Yeah, these things matter.
Yeah.
So let's make sure we're doing them right. On that note.
Sorry, Carson Beck, you're the number one pick. Do you think that's legitimate, Steve?
Not yet. No. Are you looking for quarterback depth in New England? Are you worried about the quarterback position there?
Utter guy, don't fucking do this right now. I think you know exactly what we got in New England.
Tracy's a guy.
He's playing a little reckless a little bit. You need depth at that.
Tommy DeVito's the depth.
What's the best ability, D-Butt?
Availability.
That's what Steve said.
Yeah, well, if you watch him slide season 1 and now you watch him slide season 2, he kind of slides like a little bit of a guy who doesn't like contact, which is something I'm good with.
Yeah.
Okay,
need this guy to not get hit.
Need to keep that. Yeah, you were going to say another word it sounded like, but what you're saying was smart football players.
Exactly. And plus, I need to know what the other guy thinks about Carson Beck. Why are we talking NFL?
Now, on that note, Carson has been great for Miami thus far. It feels like the perfect leader for them following Cam Ward's exit. Imagine following those shoes. Sorry, those cleats. Cam
Making
Ward,
a lot of
that'd
money.
be tough. Carson feels like, and hey, they're paying this guy more than anybody's got paid. In the Georgia story, to your point about, well, why Georgia let him go if this was a thing. How do you feel about Carson Beck? And not just this year, I guess, also, what do you think his NFL prospect shit is?
I think health is obviously the most important. And that's what I couldn't get. He had that, whatever it was, UCL surgery, didn't have spring ball, didn't have, all the reps you want in the summer, and comes out and just dices Notre Dame up. And then you look at what Notre Dame's defense has become, where as you're watching it that night, you're like, Notre Dame had one of the best defenses in the country last year, and then they've fallen off. But I also, being at the Florida game, people are wondering about arm strength and this, and I was like, I was there. It was super, super wet conditions. So I there's probably going to be questions about hand size. Gripping the ball and making
Whoa,
we love
stretch that
hand
thumb.
size conversation.
Yeah, we say about small hands.
Hey, that's what they say, not the other guy.
Small minnows.
Well said, Steve.
Like, I wear a glove. You just put a glove on.
Yeah,
Small
exactly.
gloves.
You just put a glove.
Yeah.
You just put a
Worked
glove.
out for Kenny. He's a Super Bowl champion.
Boom.
Last guy to touch the ball in the Super Bowl was a guy wearing what?
Gloves.
As a quarterback.
Two of them
With tiny
bags.
hands.
Gloves.
What's that?
They had medium gloves.
Beck wears a glove on the other side.
That was rude of you.
On the other good.
That was very rude. The left-handed glove is the right move.
good move.
I did that as a punt. Every punter should have the left-handed glove or offhand glove, I think, personally.
Even when you're holding?
Definitely when you're holding. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because that ball,
Yeah.
Little steam.
catching the ball every single time. Need to be able to feel, though, with your drop hand or your spin hand, you see. If it was a lefty kicker, that would have been weird for me because I would have had to put I would have had to put the other glove.
The other glove, yeah.
I would have had to put the other glove on so that I could feel in the
Plus, you
front.
would have held with your non-dominant hand, which would have been weird.
Oh,
too.
my God, so weird.
How are kickers in this game? What's the kicking matchup in this game? Any
Miami,
guys?
Florida State?
Yeah, because, this is one of the games that can very well, historically, it's come down to some big kicks, but come down to a big kick in a hostile environment. Do we know?
Miami's kicker is 14 of 14 on extra points. He is 4 of 4 on field goals with a long of 53.
Who's he? He's good.
He is
That's great.
Carter Davis.
Carter Davis has a great start to the
Yeah.
season. Hey, look out for this motherfucker to win an award.
Yeah.
Bert Auburn's at Miami too. Okay, so
wow,
that's interesting. In case
Former Texas kicker.
Yeah, I know.
They had to get out of there. New start, fresh start. I like that he was able to do that. He's a good kicker. Carter Davis knows that.
And then for Florida State, Jake Weinberg is 27 of 27 on extra points. That's a lot of extra points. And then he has 3 of 4 on field goals with a long of 45. It looks like he missed one from 40 to 49.
Okay. Good kickers.
Yeah, here we go.
Fine.
Sounds all right. We're about to find out about. Okay, last question here comes from the Florida State side from Ty.
Yeah, Steve, I think after last year, a lot of people were saying, like, hey, Mike Norvell, this guy's in over his skis. He either needs to get shit canned or go back to the cornrows. But they've been pretty solid so far this year, and he historically, I believe, is 3-0 against Miami. Is there any thought that maybe they just have an edge in this rivalry game with him? Cristobal obviously hasn't beat Florida State. If you're a Florida State fan, what are you thinking is like the X factor going into this game?
Probably the mindset of Florida State, being at home and what you just look like. That's where head coaches play the biggest part, to assess the tape and all the mistakes in that game. But on top of that, getting your team right for this situation, knowing we're in this extended playoff era, one loss isn't going to kill you, but you still got to make it right so you don't have to make those same mistakes the next game. That's why these guys get all that money. I thought it was really telling a Norvell to be who's a play caller for the majority of his career, to bring in his mentor Gus Malzahn and say, Gus, you take the offense. We got to get this team right, knowing how bad 2-10 was last year. I think Norvell, I think the world of him as a coach, and he'll have his guys ready. And to me, again, it's the defenses for this team. There's plenty of talent. You see it with the points scored. Castellanos has also been great on third downs, 6th in the country, I think, at 59%. So the defense isn't getting off the field. You hear Coach Saban talk about third downs, get off the field. That's what it comes down to. And whoever does that better will win this game. But Florida State will be ready. He'll have his team ready to go. Even, it's the hardest thing we do, especially, all the NFL we talk, college football. The hardest thing to do when you're assessing these teams is to forget about what the team looked like last week.
Amen.
That's so hard to do when you're ingrained in the tape and you're watching it and everybody's talking about it all week. Norvell's, they've been at the bottom of the bottom. They'll be ready.
I love Norvell. He was very kind to me whenever he was down in Memphis.
Yeah.
Took us in.
Yeah.
He was very, very nice to us, always good to us. Then whenever he goes to Florida State, obviously it's very loud because they were potential Coach Prime down there at the time. And then it was, I think this stadium was actually on fire. And then Jordan takes them to places where, hey, this is what the team's going to be. And then obviously the injuries at the most crucial position when there's only 4 spots, that becomes its own storyline. And then all of a sudden, they get punished immediately. Spend the wrong money.
Yeah.
And it's like, boom. And then Norvell's been able to build those boys back up there. So like the Virginia loss, I don't think scares me for what Florida State's about to be for the rest of the year, because I think Norvell's had to build that program twice now already. He's had to build that thing a couple of times. I got faith in him. And maybe if it doesn't work, okay, I'm not saying it won't, Well, maybe he does go back to the cornrows.
They look good. They look good.
Maybe he does go back to the cornrows. A lot of sauce on this particular guy right here. Now, you just know that that's in there at all times.
Exactly.
Whenever you're watching Norvell on the sidelines or in an interview or doing a press conference or anything like that, that's inside of him.
He hasn't lost it.
It's there.
Yeah.
Always will be.
Yeah.
So let's remember that.
Yes.
Good luck to Florida State. Good luck to Miami. Next year, maybe we get a chance to go visit that particular game. Okay, and the last game that we need to chit-chat about, San Francisco, going into the weekend.
Your Texas A&M Aggies, Pat, coming in undefeated, 6th ranked in the country. You know, they go to Notre Dame, they score 41 points and beat Notre Dame 41-40, and then last week they are off a bye. Really interested to see what they look like. They hold Auburn to 0 of 13 on 3rd down and win a tough, low-scoring game, 16-10. Coach Elko, one of the best in the biz, still agitated after the game. He mentioned how he didn't want to sound like another guy, meaning Brian Kelly, when he was asking about, reporters asking what's wrong. He wanted to celebrate that they were 4-0 for the first time in about 10 years. So I look at A&M, how are they going to handle the success? Elko in this position, 6th-ranked team, undefeated, and you got a dangerous Mississippi State team that had a game won against Tennessee last week, and Mississippi State, you want to talk win totals? They're already over.
Yep.
Their win totals, they won 2 games total last year, and they're sitting at 4-1. So this is a tricky spot, 14-point spread. But A&M, how do they handle the success? Knowing what's ahead of them with the SEC schedule, that's what I need to see from Mike Elko.
Yeah, I can't overlook Mississippi State. Arizona State might have done that as they were going into a very hostile territory. And Texas A&M is one of the best environments in all of sport. And the reason why I say the things I say about Texas A&M and Elko every time it comes up is because when I first met this man down at Duke, literally, my plane. Do you remember there was like bad weather? So whenever we flew to Duke, the meeting, let's say the production meeting on Friday was starting at 9:30. I landed I was supposed to land 8:45 or something like that, or 8:30 even. I didn't land until like 9:22 because we were just circling, but we weren't circling in clear air. Like we were circling in like shit.
Turbulence, yeah.
So like for 40 minutes, I'm in fucking turbulence basically. And then we go down to land and then we got to rush to get to the production meeting and we're in the hills down there of North Carolina. So I feel pretty disgusted. Like I think I'm going to die for 40 minutes as the plane's bouncing around. And then I drive in there and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Then obviously I'm incredibly sorry. I just showed up to a team meeting basically like 7 minutes late. This shit is very much happening already. And I show up and hey, good to see you. It's like I'm the worst I've felt in maybe
throw
years.
up.
I feel like I'm going to die. So I just sit down, we do the entire thing. And then Thamel's like, Coach Elko is going to come in here. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know who that is. He's the coach, the coach here?
The head coach of the football.
I'm like, oh, shit, great. And he was like, he has a lot of guys on his staff that are yingers and a lot of guys that want to say what's up to you or whatever. And I was like, fucking great. That is literally that's all I was thinking about is like, oh, here we go. Like, I can't wait for this. Then he showed up. He popped his head in that room. And then there was just one paisan after another. Pittsburgh Italian, another Pittsburgh Italian just like lined up. And I was like, this is what I fucking actually need. So I get up and I just immediately to Elko, hey, your fucking head size, unbelievable. Then how you doing? And then the Italians from Pittsburgh, they knew me, I assumed, certainly did. So they expected nothing less than what it was. We go outside, I have a conversation with their entire coaching staff and just listen to them talk about ball and how Elko views ball and like what it is. I'm like, oh, this guy knows ball. Like, this guy just knows ball. So then I start talking to everybody else that, like, knows the college football world much better than me at this point. And they're like, yeah, Elko, boom, 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 boom. So it was just natural for me. At Texas A&M, they paid a guy $70 million to leave.
Yeah.
Okay? So I assume Texas A&M has all the resources. And everything I heard about Elko is like, fucking, this guy gets it. It's like, those resources, what he does and what he has done, what everybody says, I think it's just natural for me to think they're going to be fucking good. So that I didn't feel like I was I didn't feel like I was Oppenheimer when I was like, Texas A&M is going to be good. I was just listening to what literally everybody has said about him, and he's got it down there. They got it fucking figured out. His defense is going to be good.
Yeah,
we always assume it's going to be good and get figured out. Right. And then on the offensive side, quarterback is a guy.
Yeah, Marcel Reed has been great. And the question coming into the season was him and kind of that passing game. You figured the running game was going to be good with Le'Veon Moss and Reuben Owens. But then Reed, they bring in 2 transfer wide receivers, Casey Concepcion from NC State. He's been unbelievable. But the other one came in from Mississippi State, Mario Craver. He's got 477 yards on the season. He's been unbelievable. So this is kind of not a revenge game or whatever. I wouldn't call it a revenge game for him because he got out of Mississippi State, even though they are really good this year. 4-1. They took Tennessee to overtime. Steve said they had 2 wins last year. They had the same total, over-under win total for this season. They've been good. Lebby was the OC at Oklahoma and then Ole Miss. His offenses are always really, really good. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of points in this one as well.
Are they? I know you said Elko got the resources.
Oh, yeah.
Are they a national title contender?
I think they paid $70 million for a guy to leave.
Yeah.
So I just think
I know that. Yeah.
And especially in this era, the defense has to continue to get better.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to. It was like 106th or something. I forget the stat in some particular stat.
Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
They put on a clinic.
Go ahead.
They put on a clinic last week, Pat, blitzes and getting in Jackson Arnold's head. Showing guys coming, simulated pressures, and then bringing guys weak when where they knew the protection was going. They had guys coming from all over the place. It was a step in the right direction from what they looked like. And what I also love about Elko is that guy Craver that Tone just asked. He went to his guys. His defense last year, they were like, that guy at Mississippi State was the toughest guy to guard. Okay, we're Texas A&M. Let's go get him. So now he's in Aggie, which makes this out.
Yeah. So, yes, they do. Yeah, they do.
To your point, they were 103rd in scoring defense before last week.
Okay, yeah.
So for last week's game day, yeah.
So Tone puts together stats, storylines for everybody. It's like a little study sheet, basically.
Do all the AP guys get those or no?
No, he makes them.
He cares.
He cares.
Yeah.
He's an NFL AP guy.
Exactly.
He's doing this for college, and all these stats. It's like great. So I watch as much of a game as I can. Normally they have these like fucking 10-minute, 12-minute games so you can see who's playing, so I can get eyes on the guys. Then, I'll go check some of the blogs.
Sure.
How does the home team feel?
to. Yeah.
How's the home team feel? This is kind of like my game day research. How's the home team feel? I'll read some fan stuff. Oh, man, all right. So certainly got to check out for that. And then go to the other side and see how that is. And then I go to Tone's fucking stat thing, and it's like, I don't think anybody knows they're 103rd in this. This is a big stat. This one feels like here. That's very out of the ordinary for an Elko defense. Seems like they might have figured it out last week. Yeah. Speaking of figuring it out, we had a chance to be a part of that whiteout up there at Penn State for a little bit. And obviously you got to see more of the time throughout the day than I did. I was holed up on my bus either watching games or taking a nap as you were out exploring. The way you described it was, I think, absolute destruction. Whenever you came onto the bus, how is it out there? I said, absolute destruction is your description of it. What are your thoughts on what we got a chance to witness? That was electric. That fucking environment. I know this is I haven't been everywhere. Okay, I haven't had the opportunity to be everywhere and everything like that. I walked out basically with the team. Yeah. The team walked out. I was standing on the field as it all happened. I was standing where I'm not supposed to be at all. So I feel like I actually experienced how, you're supposed to. If this was the best you could experience something, let's put this kid in this. They should do Make-A-Wish and stuff. That's kind of how they treated me there. Sure. That's kind of what it was in the entirety of it all. And then we're standing on the sidelines. I see Stanford Steve on the side. He's getting in his game too. He's got hands on knees, watching.
3-point stance, maybe?
And the athletic, that man right there that I'm slapping hands with, that's athletic director Pat Kraft, former middle linebacker for the Indiana Hoosiers. Wore a neck roll, is the only executive at his level that has been documented in the past wearing a neck roll on his football pads. Okay, you need to know that. I had a chance to catch up with him. Obviously, he let me do that. But I talked to him about the state of college football right now and how they view it. Because up there, they're going all in on all sports, basically because that's what the time's calling for.
Hell yeah.
Here's a chat with Pat and Jack and Pat Kraft. In the ever-changing times that we're in, obviously there's a thought of maybe a top 60 for football.
Yeah.
Coach Saban's talked about it. Coach Rodriguez has talked about it. OGs of college ball think that that's the only way that we can really get this right. And maybe there's a lot of TV money that's sitting out there. But that's not real, right? Because TV contracts are very long. And
they're all separated out differently.
And we would need ADs from every school, presidents from every school, coaches from every school, donors from every school to agree on something?
You would need presidents and ADs, and more importantly, network presidents.
So that's
Did we just let that sit there for a while?
Yeah, that's never. But the Big Ten's in a great spot.
Oh, we're in an awesome. Listen. I love that you guys are here, and you guys are the best. And Fox has been a really good partner. We're on NBC in prime time, CBS. Like, come on, I grew up watching those, and that. That's. But like, there is the ecosystem is all these people. Now, my humble opinion, and I'm not breaking any news, is like we all got our buddies in this business, and I started to call some of my friends like, why are the ADs just not getting in a room together? In the Power Four in particular, and say, hey guys, let's just come together. I don't know if we're sharing all the same information, but let's figure this out. Nothing against our commissioners. I love Tony, and I think Tony does a great job. But right now, let the practitioners in a room and say, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? How do we make this better? Because I do think for the good of the game, having been at Temple, having been at Boston College, and now here, we want everybody to be in that ecosystem. And I think letting the guys and the leaders in the room to discuss it and say, all right, let's throw it up on the board. Let's see how it works. Would be a good thing.
I think so too, Steve. It's like in this world and climate that we're in, I think there's always a lot of questions about losing the greatness of the sport. I loved hearing from him, like, yeah, we're going to try to. ADs also have some say. I think they're meeting relatively soon. Like, I think this meeting is, and I think there's a lot of people that are going to this meeting. I appreciate that that's happening, and I think all these ADs, obviously, they love sports, and in the world, I think they all just want to know what's possible. You know what I mean, Steve? I think that's kind of the goal here.
Yeah, and I just love his perspective. As you pointed out, only got to wear a neck roll in those meetings. That we need those guys. We need those guys in those conversations. So it's on top of what's possible, as you point out. Everybody can't help but keep wondering what it is. And that's what makes it so crazy, because you have us doing what we do. You have the ADs in it. You have the players that are always changing. You have coaches that are constantly looking over their shoulder saying, what's this guy doing? Or how much is that school paying that guy? There's so many parameters that I think people just need to dial it in, and that would be a great way to do it. And it starts with those guys getting in the room, like he said, getting up the board, and let's hash this thing out.
All right, let's see what's possible here. How long are your deals for? Yeah. What have you promised? What have we promised? So can we get out of that one? Nah. Yeah, okay. So now all of a sudden, this is the only problem. It's like the more brains that are kind of trying to row in the right direction, I think is good, because college football, and let alone the women's volleyball game I went to that was packed out playing USC, so no USC fans.
Yeah.
I don't think any USC. They got Nebraska coming up, I think, like maybe next week or that whole place obviously will be
to the gills.
Room only. So you talk about college sports as a whole up and to the right, but like football, definitely up and to the right. Ratings through the roof. Obviously, more ancillary shows, more companies wanting to do business, more platforms to stream these games, more people wanting to get into live sports. It's like everything is still very much ahead for the college football landscape and the college sports world as well. I'm happy that we're at least trying to figure out how we're going to go about going forward. Shout out to Pat Kraft. Shout out to the people involved. Shout out to you, Stanford Steve. You're the man. We'll see you next week, brother. Actually, I'll see you down in Teton, brother.
One quick one on the way out. Do we have an update on Gronowski?
At this point, after seeing how Hank Brown was, I'd be willing to maybe give my leg for Gronowski so he could finish the season, because Hank Brown just ain't cutting it.
All right.
Well, you're in a lot better spot than you were on that FaceTime, Ty. I'll put it that way. You look great.
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean,
that's one of my favorite things to do each week. Somebody who's a massive fan of a team that I'm friends with.
Yep.
Game literally.
We all know it's coming.
As the game is ending, and
gotcha.
Want to see? Hey, come on!
And for whatever reason, I feel like I've been on the other end of those a lot. It's fucking raining shit on me right now. But hey, you just got to wake up every morning and go get it.
I have so much fun in those. It's okay. It's happening.
Great time. I mean, I did it last night with every Yankees fan I knew that wasn't Tyler Bruce. I mean, every single one that I knew I wasn't going to see yesterday or today, rather.
Just good FaceTime and then screenshot that thing.
Yeah.
We're screenshotting that thing immediately. It's like you were with the boys as it happened in the moment, and then you can always talk shit later. It's a beautiful thing. All right, we appreciate you, man. See you down in Alabama. This is another college football convo with Stanford Steve.
Yay!